Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, and tonight we have the NBA Finals. They're finally here between the 8 seed Miami Heat, and they're on the road at the Denver Nuggets. They are the 1 seed. It is insane that these are the two teams that are being represented in the NBA Finals. Not a lot of people picked either the Miami Heat or the Denver Nuggets, especially the Miami Heat, because of the fact that they were an 8 seed, and an 8 seed has only been to the finals one time, and that was the 99 Knicks, and they lost in the finals. Can the Heat get it done? We'll have to see. But the Denver Nuggets, they get the ball first. Jamal Murray with incredible hang time. He lays it in. So it is 2-0. Denver Nuggets in front of the Miami Heat. That was a fantastic shot by Jamal Murray. Again, showing that athleticism early on in this game. A great sign for Denver Nuggets fans to see Murray getting going early in the game. Gabe Vincent in the corner. He's trying to drive for the Heat. He misses a shot, and Jokic, he has a board, one of probably many to come. Now down the floor, Jamal Murray with the ball yet again. 11-10 to go in the first quarter in this highly anticipated NBA Finals series. You've got the Heat getting the rebound after Jamal Murray misses his second shot of the game. Max Strus off the dribble for two. Max Strus is off the mark, and Jimmy Buckets with the board. He steps back for two, and he knocks it down. So we've got a tie game, 2-2. 10:50 to go in the first quarter. Murray gets the ball from Gordon back to Gordon. 10:40 to go in the first quarter. The crowd, it is full in Mile High Arena. Definitely a lot of fans. They're hoping their Denver Nuggets start out the series strong. Jokic down low, kicks to Gordon in the corner. His shot, it's an airmail. He does not hit anything. No rim, nothing at all. 10:30 to go in the first quarter. Miami with the ball. Caleb Martin over to Jimmy Butler. Butler with the ball off the dribble, kicks to Bam for two, and Bam's shooting struggles are continuing so far in this game with missing his first shot. Definitely he has struggled all playoff long shooting the basketball for Miami. They're going to need him to get going to really help out their chances in this series. On the other end, Aaron Gordon taking the ball off the dribble. He lays it in. That's a good play by Gordon, showing off his versatility. He is a guy that can shoot the three actually now at this stage of his NBA career, but he is still better known for his highlight dunks and getting the ball down low. Butler on the other end, trying to kick it back outside to Max Strus. Back to Jimmy Buckets. Top of the key with Gordon. He pulls from three, and Butler, he's got all five for Miami. 5-4 lead for the Heat, and that is a good sign for Miami Heat fans to see Jimmy Butler hitting shots like that early in this game from outside in the mid-range. That is a good sign for sure. Down low, Gordon for the dunk. 6-2-5, Denver back in front. And Jokic had the incredible pass right there to get it down low. All of Denver's players, they benefit so much by Jokic's passing ability. He is an elite passer. Down low, Bam for two, and he scores. 7-6. It's been a free-flowing, fast-moving first quarter. The Miami Heat are up 7-6. Denver with the ball. Jamal Murray, he's got at the top of the key. To Jokic, back to Murray. Down low to Jokic, and Bam with the foul right there. So Bam Adebayo was late on that switch. He was doing everything that he possibly could to be able to stop him from getting that layup to go. But Jokic, he does not score, but he's going to be going to the line. So really, either way you go for Bam Adebayo, that's not going to help, because if you foul Jokic, he's more likely going to hit the free throws. If you don't foul him, he's going to make the shot. So either way you go for Bam Adebayo, the best thing that he possibly can do is play straight up defense. And on the last play, Bam was right in front of Jokic, and he just passed it right over him to Gordon. So overall, it's not looking good early in this game for Bam Adebayo being able to defend Jokic. He's just that good. 8-7, Denver back in front after Jokic cans both free throws. So now you've got Jimmy Butler to Bam Adebayo, out to Caleb Martin, who has been fantastic in these playoff games for the Heat. They said that Caleb Martin had more points in a conference final for the Miami Heat than any other player in a conference final that was undrafted since Moses Malone back in 1981. So that's an over 40-year record that was broken right there. Caleb Martin, he is fantastic, doing a great job as an undrafted player, and that is why Miami, part of the reason why they are here. Max Strus with the ball. He almost loses the handle, but kicks over to Caleb Martin. Martin at the top of the key, trying to make a move off the dribble for a mid-range two. Off the mark, had a pretty good look, just could not get it to fall. Now Gordon over to Porter Jr. Top of the key, Porter Jr. trying to make a move. Step back three. His shot is off the mark. Gordon with the offensive rebound. And Denver, they are a team that is good getting offensive rebounds. Down low again. And Porter Jr., he misses the shot he could have made. That was a pretty good look for Porter Jr. Just could not get the shot to go. Now Jimmy Butler at the top of the key with Gordon on him. 8 to go in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler trying to move by Caldwell Pope. That is a mismatch favoring Jimmy Butler down low. Instead, he kicks to Gabe Vincent back out to Strus for three. Strus is off the mark. Porter Jr., he's got the board. Now it's over to Jamal Murray, who has been fantastic for the Nuggets in these playoff games. And he kicks it down low to Gordon, and nobody's guarding Gordon down low. He lays it in again, 10-7. That is a good decoy to have Jokic and Murray at the top of the key and then kick it down low to Gordon. He's got 6 quick points. Gabe Vincent does respond for the Miami Heat with a step back 2. It's 10-9. That's a big shot right there by Gabe Vincent. 1 point game. Denver in front. Jokic down low. Kicks to Caldwell Pope. And KCP, he scores in that mid-range area of the floor around the free throw line. 12-9, Denver up by 3, and Jokic, it looks like he's going to have a lot of assists in this game. 7 to go in the first quarter. Miami down by 3, trying to hang tough with the Denver Nuggets and a hostile crowd. Jimmy Butler down low. He's blocked. He gets it back. Misses again. Porter Jr. with the rebound. Good defense by the Nuggets. Now Caldwell Pope almost loses the ball. He gets it back because it was tapped by Strus. Now it's to Jamal Murray. Down low to Gordon. Gordon going up strong. And Gordon for 2 more. 14-9. 6:35 to go in the first quarter. And Gordon's got 8 of the Nuggets' 14 points. Can the Heat guard Gordon down low? And there is a timeout on the floor. Looks like it's by the Miami Heat. Erik Spoelstra trying to get his team in good shape to hang in this game. You don't want your team to start falling behind because of the fact that you are in the hostile crowd, in a hostile environment, on the road with the Denver Nuggets, who have a great crowd. The last few years with Michael Malone at head coach, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, the great tandem that they have been. The Nuggets, their crowd has grown and grown, and they have been consistently selling out. They're doing a great job in that front, and they are going to do everything they possibly can to help out their team in this game. And the Miami Heat, they can get it done. They won in TD Garden in Game 7, and they also won in TD Garden at the Boston Celtics in Game 1. So they are a team that is capable of winning on the road. They have done it several times in these NBA playoffs, but will they be able to do it against the Denver Nuggets in this game 1? I'm not 100% sure, because the one thing that Denver has done that the Boston Celtics never did in these playoff games is Boston was inconsistent. Denver has never been an inconsistent team so far in these playoff games. They've been a team that game in and game out has been playing at a high level. Now, we'll have to see. The finals might be too much pressure for them. They've never been here before as a team. The Nuggets have never been to the finals before in their franchise history, which is insane, the amount of players that they've had that were really solid. They just never had a team that came all the way together. But the Denver Nuggets, they are here. But will the stage be too big for them? I'm not 100% sure if it will be or not. They seem like a team that has the depth, and with Jokic, a guy that does not get rattled by pressure, and Jamal Murray, who is one of the clutchest players in the NBA, you would think they would be okay. But the Miami Heat, they have not gotten all the way here just to bow out in a poor way in these NBA finals here. We'll have to see what happens, but the Miami Heat are a team that has sneaky depth, and Tyler Hero could return in this series, and if he does, maybe that would give the Miami Heat a chance to be able to win this series. But Denver, you feel like possibly this is their year. You never want to say it's over and done with and that Denver has the series. I think that they definitely should be favored in this series. I know that a lot of people are picking them to win. With the Miami Heat, it is possible. We'll have to see. It's going to be a lot of fun in these NBA Finals to see who ends up winning a title in 2023. And it will be history made either way. You're either going to have Denver winning their first title, or the Miami Heat, you're going to have for them the first time that an 8 seed has ever won an NBA title. So history's going to be made either way. It's going to be a lot of fun. King Marky says, hi, how you doing, King Marky? Hope you're doing really well. Appreciate you for stopping by. Says, how are you doing tonight? I'm doing really well. I hope you are doing awesome as well. But definitely when you've got playoff games like this, especially the finals, it is at the end of the line. This is the end of the NBA season. I'm sure everybody is having a great time and definitely looking forward to these games. We're in game one. It's just started. 6:34 to go in the first quarter. Denver's up 14-9. So definitely the Nuggets looking really confident on their own floor. It's not like Miami's in any danger zone yet, but this is one of those games, if you are the Miami Heat, that you're going to have to find a way to stick around and hang tight with the Denver Nuggets. You just cannot fall behind by double digits, because Denver has been a team that has been really solid at not falling behind or not giving up big leads. And once they get a lead, they keep it, and then they don't fall behind once they actually fall behind. Denver sticks around as well. They're a team that when the Lakers went up big on them several times, Denver came back. And when Denver gets a lead, they usually keep it. A big lead anyway, usually by double digits. So we'll have to see if Miami can hang tough with them. Bam misses again for the Miami Heat down low. He is cold as ice. He cannot make a shot right now. Down low, a turnover though for the Denver Nuggets. Murray with the turnover right there. And then on the other end, Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray got tangled up down low. Both players fell to the hardwood, but it does look like both players are okay, but they're going to get a foul. Is going to be a foul right there on Jamal Murray. So he fell right into Jimmy Butler. Thankfully, nobody was injured, because that could have been a situation where Jimmy Butler got hurt. Jimmy Butler got hit by Bam Adebayo in the Boston series. He fell on his knee. Bam Adebayo did look like Jimmy Butler might have been in bad shape there, but it does look like Jimmy Butler's going to be okay. That was a very interesting play. You do not want to see anybody getting hurt already in this NBA Finals. You want everybody to be healthy for sure. Gabe Vincent misses, but Bam Adebayo with the putback dunk. 14-11. That's a great play by Bam Adebayo. If he can't shoot a bucket through a jump shot, all you got to do is get a putback slam right there to boost your confidence. 14-11. 3-point lead for Denver. Jamal Murray in the mid-range. He hits it. 16-11. That's a good shot by Murray. A good screen set by the Nuggets. They're doing a good job on the offensive end. Michael Malone drawing up some great plays. Gabe Vincent, he has the basketball. Trying to make a move. He has to turn around and kick it back outside. Caleb Martin off the dribble in the lane, and he's blocked by Porter Jr. What a block. KCP back the other way to the rim. He misses the shot, and the ball is out of bounds, and I think it will go back to the Miami Heat. Looks like they're going to call it off of the Denver Nuggets, but that was good recovery right there by Porter Jr. because Caleb Martin, like he had a layup right there. And then Gabe Vincent knocks down the three for Miami, 16-14. So the Heat are hanging tough. The undrafted players doing their part. Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus. They've been fantastic in these NBA playoff games for the Heat. Jokic down low to Murray for the dunk. Jokic is a fantastic passer. Over and over, he just shows he's one of the best passers in the NBA. Not just for a guard or a center or any player. All the players in the NBA, he's one of the best. Strus in the corner, he misses a three. Jamal Murray, he's got the rebound going down the floor. 4:40 to go in the first. Over to Jokic, down low to Gordon. Gordon goes up strong, and he scores. Gabe Vincent could not do anything right there. 20-14, 6-point lead for the Nuggets. Gordon has 10 of Denver's 20 points. He got half their points, and most of his buckets have been right at the rim. So he's doing a great job with the backdoor cuts, getting passes from his teammates, and he's finishing it off. Down low again, Caleb Martin for the Heat, trying to kick it in the corner, and Miami misses. In the left corner, Max Strus could not hit that long too, so Denver did a good job being able to defend on that possession. Gordon in the lane, and Gordon keeps on attacking. 22-14, 8-point lead for the Denver Nuggets, and that's a great play by Aaron Gordon. If he is continuing to be aggressive the rest of these playoff games and the rest of this game, that will definitely help out the Denver Nuggets be able to win this series. He's being really aggressive, and it's always nice to have other players beside your two stars hitting buckets. On the other end, however, Bam Adebayo does score a mid-range too, so he finally scores on a jump shot after getting that dunk put back to fall. So that's big for Bam. Maybe that will help out his confidence. And then Jokic showcasing the great passing again. Down low to Murray, 24-16. Denver's up by 8. 2 points and 5 assists for Jokic. He's already got 5 assists, and Jokic is definitely comfortable in having more assists than points at times in the game. He will get his points usually no matter what. On the other end, Caleb Martin cannot respond with a bucket. So now Denver has the ball up by 8. Gordon trying to drive. Kicks in the corner to Porter Jr. for a wide open 3. And Porter Jr., his 3 went in and out. Had a great look, just could not get it to fall. Now you've got Miami going back the other way. They're down by 8. Butler to the rim. He cuts it to 6. That's a good play by Jimmy Butler. Unfazed by the Denver crowd and the Denver defense. Getting all the way to the rim. That's a great play right there to try to settle down his team. Now you've got Jokic to Porter Jr. and Porter Jr. for 3. 27-18. 9-point lead for the Denver Nuggets. That is a big shot by the Denver Nuggets because they're going to start to stretch out the defense, and that will make it easier for them to go off the dribble. Jimmy Butler driving into the lane, trying to make a move, kicks it to Strus, to Bam, and Bam starting to heat up. Bam Adebayo scores again, 27-20. That's a really good sign for Miami fans, seeing that Bam is starting to knock down jumpers. That is a big boost for the Heat because of the fact that Jimmy Butler, really his main guy outside of him has been Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin has been that secondary option, but you look at Bam. He needs to be another guy that is a big factor in this game and beyond for the Heat to give themselves a chance, and that is a big shot by Bam. So it's 27-20. We've got a timeout on the floor. It's been a great start to these finals right here, but the Nuggets definitely looking like the stronger team. Miami trying to keep pace. Jeff says, I am here and ready to roll. Really appreciate you for stopping by, Jeff, and King Markey, and everyone else that has stopped by so far. Definitely, I'm ready to go as well. Should be a great game. Definitely, Denver has the advantage being at home and the fact that they are the 1 seed and they have the confidence in their abilities, the way that they swept the Los Angeles Lakers. And plus, they had a lot of rest, which some people would say that would make Denver rusty, which is very well possible. Denver could be rusty because they have sat so long. But the Miami Heat, they had to go toe-to-toe with Boston. They won the first 3 games. Didn't look like they were going to blow the series. First team to ever give up a 3-0 lead to the Boston Celtics, but then they recovered just in time in Game 7, won that game. So definitely they have been playing basketball a lot, just more recently ago than the Denver Nuggets. So it's really interesting there between, you could possibly say the fatigue of Miami versus the rust of Denver. But I don't think Denver looks rusty at all. It is only the first quarter, still over 3 quarters left to play. We'll have to see if Denver can keep up this high level of play the rest of this game. But definitely Denver is looking really solid right now, and Miami just trying to find a way to not fall behind by too much, because if they do, that would really hurt their chances of being able to win this game and the series, because Miami has built confidence by winning games early in a playoff series. The only playoff series that they fell behind in was the Bucks. But you look at Jimmy Butler, he was fantastic late in that series. And really, even then, they didn't really fall behind by too much in that series either. Miami, it wouldn't be good for them to lose both these games. Probably need to find a way to steal one at Denver. I mean, they're going to have to win one at Denver if they're going to win the series, obviously. But still, I do think that maybe winning this game might give them the momentum to be able to hang in the series and say, hey, we have a chance. We can actually win this. I don't think Miami's going to give up by any means if they do lose the first 2 games. It would just make so much more pressure on Miami to have to win their home games. So it's going to be really interesting. Michael Hawk, thanks for stopping by. Says, hey, Jeffrey, how are you doing today, sir? I'm doing really well. I really appreciate you stopping by. Cannot wait for the rest of this game. Should be a lot of fun, but I'm doing well, and I hope you are doing great as well. I'm sure you are very excited with the news that Zach Edey is returning to Purdue. That is huge for them. Michael Hawk says, Jeffrey, slow down your voice. Is going to be shot for the end of the 3rd quarter. Definitely. I mean, I'm just trying to, keep all the action in front. There's so much going on, teams going back and forth. But thank you right there for, the wise words of advice. Do not want to lose the voice, but do appreciate you for being here. And definitely we'll try to keep going strong until the end of the game. Always a lot of fun with these games, trying to figure out what will happen, and you want to be in good shape for the end for sure. Really appreciate that. Jackson says, everybody hear of the chicken wing song. Jackson says, here's a new song, Denver. That's funny. I mean, the Denver Nuggets, I mean, Jackson is 100% correct. The Denver Nuggets, they are rolling. I guess they deserve their own theme song at this point. The Nuggets are definitely on a roll. We'll have to see if they can continue that hot streak and be able to win this playoffs here, get their first NBA title. Cody Zeller's into the game for the Miami Heat. That's really interesting right there. He actually played some really good defense on the Denver Nuggets, making them miss a little jumper right there. Caleb Martin's got the ball in the corner for the Miami Heat. 1:30 to go in the first. Jimmy Butler off the dribble. 4-2. He misses the shot. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Denver back the other way. KCP with a step back too. He's off the mark as well, and I think they call a foul on the Denver Nuggets. I don't think it was a turnover, but maybe it was an illegal screen by the Nuggets. It's always tough to get an illegal screen because one of those plays, kind of like a false start, that's so avoidable, especially when it's on the offensive end. It's so much more frustrating for sure. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. Heat are down by 7, still trying to find a way to get going in this game. They've been doing a decent job hanging with Denver, but definitely been the team that has not been as crisp on the offensive end as the Nuggets have been. Now you've got Duncan Robinson. He's also into the game for the Heat. Off the dribble, and they call an offensive foul again. This time on the other end, on the Miami Heat, they called an offensive foul on the Denver Nuggets on that other possession. Now they call it on the Miami Heat. Let's see if Duncan Robinson pushed off. It wasn't too bad. He pushed off a little bit, but definitely right there, very interesting. Got Jokic with the ball, driving into the lane. Bruce Brown has it back. Bruce Brown gets it from Jokic, and he misses the shot right there. Now you've got Miami going back the other way again. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler with Christian Brown on him. Butler for 3, and Butler misses the shot. So again, that was a pretty good-looking shot by Jimmy Butler. Just could not get it to fall right there. Definitely going to have him having a big game if you think that the Heat would have a legitimate shot to win, especially with the rest of his team not really doing a great job overall on the offensive end. It's early in the game. Potentially they can get going. But Jimmy Butler will have to carry the Heat if no one else will. There's 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And they've got altitude warning in the crowd. Definitely the Nuggets, they are high up, very high in the air. A lot of feet. Definitely the altitude can play a role for a lot of teams that are not used to playing in higher altitude. See if that will affect the Heat as well. You got Bruce Brown over to KCP, and his shot's off the mark. Cody Zeller tried to get the rebound, but Denver got it back, and you've got Jokic laying it in. 29-20. Lowry with a 3, and it's off, and that is the end of your first quarter. 29-20. The Nuggets lead by 9. The Nuggets just look so much more explosive than Miami. I think the Heat, they were really commendable. You could say maybe the fatigue playing a role, but they were definitely doing a solid job sticking with Denver, but the Nuggets just kept fighting. And on that last possession, Cody Zeller not coming up with the ball and Denver getting it back and Denver laying it in. That's a big play because of the fact that the Nuggets have been out-rebounding the Heat so far in this game. And the Nuggets have been out-rebounding most teams in the NBA. Because they have Jokic, who is a great rebounder. That's why Jokic gets triple-double after triple-double, because of the fact that he's a great passer, so he gets the assist, he's a great rebounder, and he's also a great scorer. And then you look at other guys like Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., those guys are pretty solid rebounders as well. So definitely the Denver Nuggets might have the advantage over the Miami on the glass because of the fact that outside of Jimmy Butler, who is a pretty solid rebounder, usually gets close to double-digit rebounds a game. Bam, he can rebound as well, but he's still really struggling with Jokic. Down low on either side, on the offensive end and the defensive end. He's really struggling, trying to find a way to be able to slow down Jokic is a tall task. Because even though Jokic is a guy that his potentially only weakness, you could say, is maybe he's not the greatest defender in the world. which is not to say he isn't a bad defender. He can. It's just you look at some of the best bigs in the NBA. Maybe Jokic isn't as good as some of those guys, but still, he's a guy that can defend. Bam's going to have to take advantage of Nikola Jokic on the offensive end, because if Bam can get his points, at least that would help alleviate what Jokic is putting up. If Jokic has something like 25 points, 12, 13 rebounds, 13 assists, Bam, if he can put up 20 points in response, that would at least help the Miami Heat be able to kind of offset Jokic's production a little bit. If Bam only has like 10, 12 points like he basically had all series long against Boston, then there's a great chance that the Miami Heat aren't going to be able to win the series at all. I do think that looking at Bam Adebayo, he has to have a better performance on the offensive end than the defensive end. Because on defense, there's just not much he's going to be able to do against Jokic. He's that good. But at least if he can offset what Jokic is putting up on the offensive end and be able to get close to what he's scoring and then try to rebound as well as he possibly can, that would definitely help for sure. You're not going to win the battle with Jokic, but at least you can compete if you're Bam Adebayo and at least make it tougher on Jokic and at least give yourself a chance to not get destroyed on the glass. I think that would go a long way in potentially helping the Miami Heat have a chance. Butler's going to have to be as great as he's been all playoff long. And then the undrafted 4, those guys are going to have to play at a high level because of the fact, as long as Hero is still out, it's up to them to contribute with the three-point shooting. Because with Denver, you've got Jamal Murray, you've got Bruce Brown, you've got KCP, you've got Porter Jr., you've got Gordon, you've got Jeff Green and Christian Brown, all guys that can shoot the three. All guys that can help Nikola Jokic and give Nikola Jokic so many different players to pass the ball to. So I think overall, just looking at Denver, I mean, the depth's there. Miami has sneaky depth. They've got guys that can play. They've got guys that have been doing a great job in these playoff games for Miami, but I do think that they're going to have a tall task with Denver. It's just so many weapons they have, so many great players overall, so many dangerous players that can score in so many different ways. It's just going to make it really difficult for the Miami Heat to be able to win. But we'll have to see how much they have in the tank. Miami does miss a 3 on the other end. Denver with the ball. You've got Bruce Brown in the game. He tries to go up with it, and he misses a layup right there. So it's 29-20. The Nuggets still lead by 9 like they did at the end of the first quarter. Lowry to Duncan Robinson. Robinson's off the mark. And Porter Jr. tried to get the ball. He could not. So finally, Miami got an offensive rebound, but a steal by Christian Brown, and he loses the ball out of bounds. But that's great effort by the rookie from Kansas. That is what you want to see if you're Michael Malone. Seeing your players go down to the court, be able to try to get the rebound there, get the steal. That's a good play by Christian Brown. You might not have ended up with the ball, but the effort, you got to love the effort if you are a Denver Nuggets fan. Miami with the ball. Hayden Highsmith into the game as well. Lowry, he misses a 3. Hayden Highsmith with the offensive rebound. So as you can see, with Jokic is on the bench, Miami can get some offensive rebounds because they're a little bit smaller. Highsmith goes up strong, and there's a foul on the Denver Nuggets. So that's a good play by Hayden Highsmith to be able to get that ball down low and try to go up with it. He missed the shot, but at least he was able to draw a foul on Christian Brown. Bad play by Brown. I know he was trying to go for the block, but there was no need because there's a good chance Hayden Highsmith does not make that shot. Just go up straight, do everything you can to be vertical. Christian Brown, he bid for trying to go for the block, and he got Hayden Highsmith on the arm. But as one would say, just a rookie mistake. Now you got Hayden Highsmith. He hits the first free throw, so it's 29-21. 8-point game, Miami. This is about as far as you can get it where you're down. You've got to be able to keep it around 6 to 10 at the max. You can't fall behind by more than 10. We'll have to see if they can stick around. They're down by 7 right now after Hayden Highsmith hits both free throws. So it's 29-22, 10:40 to go in the second quarter. The Nuggets lead by 7 points. Bruce Brown with the basketball. Kicks over to Christian Brown, back to Bruce Brown. The two Browns doing a good job passing to each other. Murray back to Brown. Off the dribble. Murray's wide open. Off the bounce for a 3, and he knocks it down. 32-22, 10-point game. 10:20 to go in the second quarter, and Jamal Murray showcasing his talent right there. He looked like he's going to have a wide open three, but instead he faked out the defender to get an even more wide open three, and he got the shot to fall. 32-22, that's a great play by Murray. Miami misses on the other end. So now you've got the Nuggets with the ball. 10 to go in the second quarter. Bruce Brown tries to get it down low, and I think there is a kick ball on Bam Adebayo. So Bam Adebayo was trying to blow up that back screen, that the backdoor screen that the Nuggets had going on. But unfortunately for him, it ended up being a kick ball. So it's still going to be Denver Nuggets basketball. Jeff Green's in the corner trying to drive on Duncan Robinson. Jeff Green goes up strong. He misses the shot. Bam Adebayo has the rebound. Kyle Lowry going down the floor. Down low to Hayden Highsmith, and Hayden Highsmith for two. 32-24, 8-point game. 9:30 to go in the second quarter. That's a good play by the Miami Heat. Trying to hang around. Down by 8. Not down by too much as of this time, but Jamal Murray trying to change that. Michael Porter Jr. kicks to Christian Braun. Back to Porter Jr. 4-3, 35-24, and the chemistry of the Nuggets is unreal. You got Christian Braun, a rookie, just coming in and seamlessly looking like he belongs out there. That is a great play to get the ball to Porter Jr. in the corner, a guy that has developed so much as a three-point shooter. While he's been in the NBA, he's done a great job in that regard. But Bam Adebayo down low, drawing contact, and I think he gets the bucket to fall. So, but Porter Jr., though, on the other end, that is a big three. Lowry tried to guard him, but he just could not, with his size disadvantage, could not affect Porter Jr.'s shot. So, Bam, no shot there. I think the foul was on the floor, so Miami still has it. Gabe Vincent with the ball. In the corner to Duncan Robinson, and that's what Duncan Robinson is in the game to do, to knock down threes. That's a big shot right there. 35-27. Big shot for Duncan Robinson. Potentially, if he can get hot for the Heat, that would help them stay in the game. Jeff Green driving in, and Jeff Green, 36-year-old veteran Jeff Green with the hook shot. 37-27, 10-point lead for Denver. Miami, they need to keep pace with the Nuggets, and they're not getting stops. And they just turned it over. Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson had some miscommunication right there. You could tell Eric Spoelstra is getting a little frustrated. Michael says, Jackson, I sent Jeremy Med to slow down, but he didn't acknowledge. I definitely trying to take your advice. Really appreciate that, Michael Hawk. So you got Bruce Brown. Misses the shot, but Michael Porter Jr. with the putback slam. What a dunk by Porter Jr. 39-27, 12-point lead for Denver, and that will get the crowd on their feet. Nothing like a putback slam. 8 points for Porter Jr. Duncan Robinson has the ball. Swings it over. Gabe Vincent now has it. He's trapped by Jamal Murray. That's great defense by Murray. He has definitely improved as a defender since being in the league. Highsmith. Now you've got Duncan Robinson to Bam, and Bam for two. Bam Adebayo. He's got some points in this game. I think he's up to 8 points now. That is a good sign for the Heat, seeing that he is contributing in this game earlier on than normal, like he was doing in the second half in that Boston series, more often than not. He's doing a good job in this game. Down by 10, though, for the Heat. A turnover. Porter Jr.'s down on the ground. Hopefully he is okay. Kyle Lowry to Duncan Robinson. Off the dribble, back to Lowry. Inside to Bam for the dunk. That's a good pass by Lowry. And Bam scores again, so he's probably in double digits. So that's a good sign to see Bam Adebayo getting some confidence in this playoff series early on. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Bam Adebayo accidentally hit Michael Porter Jr. in the head. That is tough right there. I don't think he meant to. I think he was trying to go up for the ball, but they probably could review it. Whenever it involves the head or neck area these days in the NBA, they usually always review it. There's a timeout on the floor, but it does look like potentially you could have a review on that play to see if there is a technical foul on Bam Adebayo, because he did get Michael Porter Jr. pretty rough across the head. Hopefully, Porter Jr. is all right. But definitely, this game is kind of going the way I would think most people were expecting. The Denver Nuggets looking like the more confident team. They're showing you that they really want to win this playoff series, get their first title. And I think that if the Denver Nuggets continue to play with the intensity that they're playing with, seeing players like Christian Braun diving to the floor, trying to save the ball from going out of bounds, the putback slams, Jokic being Jokic, doing it all early on in this game, it's going to make it very difficult for Miami to win this game in this series. It's not going to be Miami can't win a game or two or maybe even three, but it's going to be tough for them to win the series altogether because Denver is just showing you how confident that they are. You know, for a team that's not used to this spotlight, I mean, it looks like they've been here for years. It looks like they're a team that's used to this. They are playing at an extremely high level, and so many guys that, you know, you look at a couple years ago, where they were to where they are now, the improvement is unbelievable. You talk about the Miami Heat, and they deserve props as well for the undrafted four. Those guys like Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, and Max Strus. Four guys that coming out of college, no one really thought was going to have a big NBA role. Maybe a couple of those guys, especially like a Caleb Martin, because he was really solid at Nevada. But Gabe Vincent coming from UC Santa Barbara, Duncan Robinson coming from Michigan, but he played at a Division II school before that. And then you look at Max Strus, played at DePaul. Those guys weren't expected to do much in the NBA, and they've all overperformed their expectations. They've been great. But then you look at Denver. Denver is actually in the same boat. They might have more guys that were drafted, but Aaron Gordon a couple years ago, all Aaron Gordon was, you know, useful for in the NBA as, you know, his role on a team was just dunking the ball, you know, putbacks, you know, short jumpers down low, and then being able to rebound at a high level. He was just a highlight reel with dunks, but he couldn't shoot the basketball. And he wasn't a great free throw shooter, but he's gotten much better at the free throw line. He's shooting over 70%, which is not bad. I know in the NBA, most guys shoot better than that, but still, you know, you look at Aaron Gordon, his improvement's been massive. And then you look at a player like Michael Porter Jr. He was a guy that could shoot the basketball a few years ago, but he's gotten much better at shooting threes as well. So definitely you've got two guys that a few years ago were nowhere near as good as they are now. So it's awesome to see the development that they have had with the Denver Nuggets. And their improvement is why the Denver Nuggets are so good, because if you just have Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon playing the way that they were, and it was all Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, there's no way that the Denver Nuggets would be as good of a team. They are this good because you've got the two stars, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, who are incredible players, top 10 players potentially in the NBA. Jokic for sure, Murray right there. He's getting so much better again off of his injury. And then you've got Porter Jr. and Gordon, who are really solid. And then KCP's come out of nowhere. So many guys for Denver have gotten better, and that's why they are such a great team right now. Jamal Murray with the ball with a step back too. His shots off the mark, and Kyle Lowry, he's got the rebound. Lowry's always been a pretty solid rebounding guard for his size. Bam to Lowry, back to Bam, back to Lowry with the two-man game for two, and Lowry knocks down the shot. He falls to the court, but there's no foul. So it's 39-33. That's a good play by Lowry. Maybe that would give him some confidence. Lowry is a guy that you feel like will be very important in this series for the Heat. And then you've got Porter Jr. down the lane with a dunk. That was a great play, a one-handed jam down the lane, 41-33. Bam scores on the other end, though. Bam is doing a good job. Bam has gotten some confidence. I think that putback slam earlier in this game has really boosted his confidence. He's doing a great job. 6:10 to go in the second quarter. Jamal Murray at the top of the key, trying to drive. Instead takes a mid-range two, and he knocks it down. So it's 43-35. 6 to go in the second quarter. So Jamal Murray, he's got 13 points and 3 assists. He's 6 of 8 from the field. Denver's up by 8 points. He's doing a solid job. Kyle Lowry to Bam, to Duncan Robinson, back to Bam, down low to Hayden Highsmith. And again, that's a good play by Bam. He didn't score on that play. That was a very unselfish pass, doing a little bit of what a Jokic-type play right there with a great pass. Bam is looking really confident right now. Miami's cut it to 6. They're hanging around. Jokic back in the game, kicks to Bruce Brown, and Jokic has another assist. What a pass by Jokic. He always makes the right read, it seems. No player is perfect, but that was a great pass, and he, again, usually makes the right decision 95% of the time. Duncan Robinson for the Heat with the ball. Now it's over to Lowry to Bam. Bam trying to go around Jokic for two, and Bam finally misses a shot. He had been rolling for a while, just could not get that one to fall. 9-point lead for Denver. 5 to go in the second quarter. Murray with Hayden Highsmith on him. Highsmith's doing a solid job. Spoelstra's leaving him in. Murray thought about taking the three. Instead, kicks it to Jokic down low, and there is a foul on Duncan Robinson. When Nikola Jokic gets the ball that far down low in the paint, there's not much you can do. You're either going to give up a two or you're going to foul. Because Jokic puts that pressure on you to foul because you're trying to stop him and he goes into you, and then you're trying to block, and he's usually taller than you. You're going to get that foul called on you more than half of the time. And Jokic, a pretty solid free throw shooter, he knocks down the first. 4:53 to go in the second quarter. It's 47-37. But they've showed that pass from Jokic to Bruce Brown several times. That was an incredible pass. And that's what Jokic does. He makes his teammates better. He gives them the confidence to be able to make shots like that because he gets them the ball in great positions to score. He is such a great teammate. 48-37, Denver's up by 11. So Miami, they had it to 6, and just like that, Denver's got it back to 11. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Miami needs another bucket. Jimmy Butler, he's in the game, trying to make a move on KCP. Now it's over to Caleb Martin. Lowry, Cody Zeller's in the game as well. Zeller driving to the lane. He misses the shot. He tries to get the offensive rebound, and he does. Kicks down low to Robinson, and Robinson misses a layup. Zeller and Robinson had two great looks, just could not get them to go. Jokic to Murray. Jamal Murray looked like he was going to be going for a step-back three potentially, but they call a foul on Duncan Robinson. I think he collided with Jokic, and Duncan Robinson like, how did I get the foul? He's thinking that the foul was on Jokic. That's not who they call it on. Oh, man, that's tight. That is close. Jokic right there setting a screen. It looked like you could say it was legal. Did he move his leg? I don't know. That's close. That is really close. But Duncan Robinson, him and Jokic fell to the floor, but they're going to give the foul to Robinson. That has to be 2 or 3 fouls on him. Now you've got Murray. Over to Jokic at the top of the key. Back to Murray. 4 to go in the second quarter. Murray off the dribble. He's trapped by Vincent. Good defense by Vincent. Murray with a step back, and he misses the shot again. Textbook defense by the Miami Heat right there. Caleb Martin back the other way. 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Jimmy Butler has the ball. Driving in. Kicks to Caleb Martin in the corner. Now you've got Caleb Martin going over to Jimmy Buckets. Maybe this is Jimmy Buckets' time. He needs to hit a shot or two for the Heat. Strus, he kicks to Strus. He cannot hit the three to respond. It's 48-37. Jokic and Zeller banging down low. Under 3:30 to go in the second quarter. Jokic driving in the lane. Drives on Zeller, and he lays it in. Knocks Zeller to the court. 50-37. That is a good play by Jokic, taking advantage of Zeller, who unfortunately right there just could not defend Jokic. That's kind of a mismatch. Jokic only has 8 points and 8 assists. So you talk about Nikola Jokic. He's only got 8 points and 8 assists. He hasn't even been too big of a factor in this game, and Denver still leads by 13 points. The depth for the Nuggets is unreal. And when Jokic is passing the ball and he's getting a lot of assists, it's not just important that Jokic is passing the ball to his teammates and getting those assists. Assists means that those guys hit the buckets as well. Bruce Brown, yeah, that was a great pass by Jokic, but Brown still has to hit the three. Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, these guys are making their shots. So it's not just enough to get open and Jokic passes it to you. They've got to hit the shots as well, and they're doing that. And if they continue to do that in this game, there's not going to be much of a chance for Miami unless they start to shoot the ball at a ridiculously high rate from three, which they're not doing right now. Duncan Robinson's hit a couple, but I think he's in a little bit of foul trouble, so he's back on the bench. And you look at a guy like Caleb Martin. He's still trying to find his way in this game. He has not really gotten going yet. Max Strus, he's hit a couple of shots, but just several guys for the Miami Heat are a bit cold right now, and they're down by a deficit that's starting to get a little bit dangerous, a little bit risky. You do not want to be down by too much, in this game, because if you fall behind by too much, the crowd is going to become such a factor They're Nuggets. They want them to win. Their fan base is craving an NBA title. Yes, the Heat being the first 8 seed would be huge as well to win a title. But Miami, they've got titles already in their franchise record books. Denver, they do not have one. And they've got the team to get it done. And I know for sure that they're going to do everything they can possibly to win this series. Jeff says Denver looks really fast as usual. I agree with you, Jeff. You're 100% correct. Denver, the thing that makes them so dangerous is not just the depth of their team, because you can talk about depth all day long, but they actually have to perform. All their guys are playing well. So their depth, unlike Boston, where it was very inconsistent and it was up and down throughout the playoffs, Denver has not been inconsistent. And in every single game that they played against the Lakers did not play poorly. But if Denver had one game where they weren't at their best, they would have lost a game or two in that series. But Denver won all those games because they were the better team every single time. They were so consistent against the Lakers. That's why they won that series 4-0. And if they do that again against the Heat, they could win this series 4-0. I wouldn't, really think that would happen. I think Miami would find a way to win a game or two, but we'll have to see. But Denver's been so consistent. And to your point, their pace of play makes it so difficult to keep up with them, because Jokic is a guy that can run the floor. The issue is for defenses when you're trying to guard Denver is because Jokic can take the ball down the floor on his own and set up his guys before the defense even gets set. You look at guys back in the league a long time ago, bigs, it was so tough for them to get down the floor. So sometimes their team had to wait, for the center to get down the floor. They had to wait for them to get in the paint, post up, get the ball to them, hope that they could score. If not, they would kick it back out. So the offenses were a bit slower. In today's NBA, when you got a guy like Jokic initiating the offense before the defense can get set, that puts so much pressure on the defense, because you only have like a 3 to 5 second window to get set, or you're already beat and you're going to give up a bucket almost every single time. That's what makes Jokic so great. And that's why they play so fast, because Jokic allows them to play fast. He is a guy that does so much on the offensive end, with the passing and the rebounding and the scoring, that it allows Denver to play with the pace in which they play, and that makes them such a great team. Miami on the other end, Caleb Martin cannot respond. 3 to go in the second quarter. Porter Jr. misses the 3 on the other end. Butler does come up with the rebound. Miami, they need points in a hurry. Can Jimmy Buckets provide them? 4-2. Butler's off the mark. Zeller tried to get the offensive rebound. He could not. Down the floor. Porter Jr. to Jamal Murray. 2:30 to go in the second quarter. This has been a first half predominantly dominated by Denver. Down low, Jokic to Gordon. That's a great play by Gordon. Looked like he was trapped under the goal. He somehow found a way to squeak out of it, and he laid it in. 9-0 run by Denver after Miami had cut it to 6. Miami has not scored in over 3.5 minutes, and just as I say that, Gabe Vincent knocks down a 3. That's a big shot. That's a shot we'll have to look back at later in this game. If Miami's still hanging around toward the end of the game, that's a huge shot to not let Denver's lead get too out of control. Vincent with up to 8 points right now. Jokic with Zeller on him. Caldwell Pope, he misses a mid-range shot. Zeller with a good box out of Jokic gets that rebound. Caleb Martin down the floor. He tried to get it to Gabe Vincent in the corner, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. So it's 52-40. Denver leads by 12. So again, a comfortable lead for Denver. Miami's trying to stick around, not fall behind by too much. But I definitely think that if Denver can get this to around a 16-point lead at the half, then that's job well done by the Nuggets, and it will go a long way in helping them win this game. Jokic with 8 points and 9 assists. He's only taken 2 shots as well. He's 2-2 from the field. That's how unselfish he is, in the fact that he's only taken 2 shots so far in this game, and he's got 8 points and 9 assists, doing a great job for his team. Murray on the other end, he's blocked after Miami missed a shot. Now Bam back the other way, being guarded by Gordon. Outside to Strus, wide open 3, and that's been the kind of first half for the Heat. You've got a wide open 3 for Strus. Unfortunately, can't knock it down. He's got 0 points. He's 0 of 6 from 3, 0 of 7 for the field. He's trying to find his way, but he's really struggling. If Strus and Caleb Martin don't get going, Miami will have a hard time having a shot in this game. Murray with a step back 2. He is padding his stats. He might be up to around 15 points. 54-40. Yes, Murray has 15 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Bam off the dribble, and Bam Adebayo scores again. 54-42. Bam Adebayo has been one of the best players in this first half for the Miami Heat. He's got 16 points, 4 rebounds. I bet no one was expecting that Bam will be leading the Heat in the first half. He's been solid. He has been really solid. Jokic trying to drive, kicks to Murray for 3, and Murray knocks down the shot. 57-42. 15-point lead for Denver. That's a great shot by Jamal Murray. 18 points for him. 8 of 12 from the field. 2 of 3 from 3. Jimmy Butler to Bam. Strus now on the outside where he is still cold. Kicks to Jimmy Butler. Back to Strus, and I think that there is either a foul or maybe Butler stepped out of bounds. Not 100% sure which one is the case, but that is not a good sign for Miami. They are falling behind by too much. They're down by 15 points, and if Denver can score again, I'm not saying that puts Miami out of reach, but that potentially puts the Nuggets up by a margin that would be sustainable for them in the second half to be able to keep the lead. They're doing a great job. You've got Jamal Murray with the ball. Can he pad his stats in the first half? He's been great in this first half. He's driving in the lane. Murray to Jokic down low, and Jokic scores. This time, instead of Jokic to Murray, it's Murray to Jokic. Bam down the floor. He shoots a 3, and it's off the mark. 59-42 at the half. 17-point lead for Denver. This is not going to get it done for Miami. They are struggling all around, doing their best to try to hang in this game, but they're down by 17 points. And if this continues in the second half, Denver should have a fairly comfortable win. Still 2 halves in every game. There are 2 halves in every game, but the Nuggets are looking great so far. Jeff says Porter Jr. will be fine. Yeah, Porter Jr. has hit a couple big shots, and that's just been the biggest thing for Denver. They've got a lot of guys out there scoring the basketball. Jokic only has 10 points. Jamal Murray, yes, he was pretty fantastic with 18 points, but Porter Jr. Gordon had over 10. Gordon was great in that first half, whereas with Miami, it's been Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler just has not had a great first half so far. Strus is cold. Caleb Martin is cold. Too many guys for the Miami Heat are cold. They need to heat up in a hurry, or they're not going to be able to have a shot in this game. Jeff says the Joker's fantastic. Nikola Jokic is an incredible basketball player because of the fact that what he provides all around the floor. He is so vital to Denver's team that you take him out of the offense or you just take a couple of his abilities away, it makes Denver's offense a lot worse. You take Jokic's passing out of the equation, you take Jokic's offensive rebounding out of the equation, then I think that Denver is a way worse team. He does so much. That's what makes Denver such a great offensive team. He is elite in so many categories. Post a StreamYard link to see if any of you guys would like to talk at the half about this game. Definitely a lot of stuff going on. Then when the second half comes back on, we'll get back to the action. If anybody has any halftime questions or thoughts on this game, definitely want to hear from you guys. It will be awesome to see your thoughts so far and how it's going. Nana says Denver is looking good for sure. I completely agree with you. Nana, I really appreciate you for stopping by. And yes, you are 100% correct. The Denver Nuggets, they're looking fantastic, and this is just continuing what they've already done. Denver's been the most consistent team in the 2023 NBA playoffs. They've been great from the onset when they played the T-Wolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves had no chance against the Denver Nuggets. Then they played the Phoenix Suns. KD and Booker did everything they could to win 2 games, and they did. But then you look at the fact that the Denver Nuggets, beside those 2 losses, won all the other games fairly comfortably. They were great in that series. And then they swept the Lakers. Denver has been that good. They've just been that good all the way through. Every single game, they've been great. Even the games that they've lost, they've actually been pretty solid. I mean, it's like they have not had that many poor games. They have not had that many poor performances at all. And when you lose a game and you don't play bad at all, and you really tried to win and you didn't win, it boosts your confidence anyway because of the fact you could say, you know what, we didn't win and we didn't maybe play at our best, but we barely lost. That's why I kind of felt the Lakers were in a good position against the Denver Nuggets because of the fact that every game that they lost, they were so competitive. It felt like eventually they'd find a way to break through and get that win that they were looking for. But unfortunately for the Lakers, they were playing the wrong team. If they played the Celtics, there's a chance the Lakers maybe beat the Celtics, just like the Heat did, because of how inconsistent, overall, looking at the way the Celtics were playing, that you just kind of felt like maybe the Lakers would have had a shot, because in the games that the Boston Celtics played poor, the Lakers would have won. And even a couple of the games that the Boston Celtics won, you think the Lakers could have won, potentially. But unfortunately, the Lakers, not playing Boston, they're in the East. They had to play Denver, and Denver was just too consistent. They were just way too consistent for the Lakers. Jeff said, yeah, the Nuggets are rolling. And I mean, it's got to be a great sign, and a great feeling for Nuggets fans. And overall, looking at, Michael Malone as well and his confidence in his team, because there were some question marks. Would Denver start out rusty? They were sitting for about, a week, a little over a week since they beat the Lakers. You could say maybe there's a little bit of rust. They haven't played in a while. Would they be up to the challenge against Miami in game one, or would Miami sneak up on them? But then you have the fatigue argument with the Heat. It's interesting either way. But overall, looking at it, I don't think that Denver's rusty at all. I mean, they look like the same team we saw before. And I know all it takes is a bad stretch. I mean, Denver could go cold. Denver could start to struggle. They could go out there in the second half, start missing shots. Jokic is doing his thing, but none of the players that he's passing the ball to were hitting shots, and then they can kind of go cold. Maybe Strus and Caleb Mark come to life. Maybe they start hitting shots. You never know. We'll have to see. But the way the game's trending, is definitely looking really good for a Denver Nuggets win. They're playing some great basketball all around. Delicious Rage, thanks for stopping by. Says not game related, but which state are you from? Congrats on the 1,000 subs. Really appreciate that, Delicious Rage. Really do. It's awesome. All you guys, I appreciate your support so much. You guys are the reason. I really do appreciate so much that you guys, your support has been amazing coming back each and every game. Some of you guys have been awesome for sure. I'm from the state of North Carolina, but I do really appreciate you, Delicious Rage, for the congratulations on the 1,000 subs, and definitely really excited for these NBA finals. They should be a lot of fun. This is game one. Hopefully that the series is really competitive. I mean, even if Denver wins the series fairly comfortably in 4 or 5 games, it is what it is. But definitely, still, it's the NBA finals. It's the last games that we have before you get back to basketball with college basketball, and you do have the NBA coming back around in the fall. So you got to make the most of it while you got the games, and they should be fun. But definitely, Denver is just outplaying the Heat right now. And Miami's tried. Miami has had several moments where they have been playing some fairly solid basketball, but it has not been consistent enough. It just has not been consistent enough, and there's just no way, overall, looking at on paper, for the Miami Heat, they don't have enough scoring to compete with Denver, which is why Tyler Hero could become really important. Tyler Hero is a guy that can light it up. He can score 30. It will be interesting to see how rusty he will be. You talk about the Nuggets being rusty after not playing for a while. Tyler Hero might be rusty because he has not played in over a month. It's been around a month anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see how he can come back. And if Tyler Hero, comes back for Miami and he's, not 100%, it's not going to give Miami a shot. I think that overall, Tyler Hero, the way that Miami's looking so far in this first half, it's a small sample size. Maybe the second half they'll do better. But the way it's trending, you feel like Tyler Hero is going to have to come back for the Heat and play at a high level. Play like he does in some of his best games. And if he does, I think there's a chance that Miami could be able to score some points and be able to beat the Nuggets in a game or two. Don't know about winning the series, but at least they could compete with them. Because the problem is that the only way that Miami can beat Denver is if they're hitting a ton of threes or if they're defending at a high level against Denver. Because they won that one game against Boston when they weren't scoring a lot of points. And that was because of the fact that they were defending at a high level, and Boston was just struggling on the offensive end as well. So I think that actually helped Miami. Miami playing Boston with them being inconsistent, that benefited the Heat so much overall that I think it allowed them to win that series. They squeaked it out at the end, winning game 7. The problem with Denver has not shown any signs of going cold on the offensive end. And unless that occurs, it's going to be really hard to foresee, Miami being able to hang with Denver. because Miami is a team that is capable of knocking down a lot of threes. They really struggled from the outside in the regular season. But why Miami's here is because they have knocked down threes. Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Jimmy Butler, all those guys have been hitting threes. Kyle Lowry has hit some threes. All those guys have actually been making threes. They've been doing a good job. They even outshot Boston from three in several games, particularly those first three. And then when Boston got their act together, then obviously they were shooting threes at a better rate than the Heat. But the Nuggets are definitely doing a much better job from the outside than Miami. And part of it's because of Jokic. Part of it's because he does such a great job of finding the open guy that allows Denver to get so many open threes. But I do think overall, looking at Miami, they don't have the defensive capabilities right now to slow Denver down. And I think the only thing that they can hope for in the second half is that Denver just goes cold, because they're not slowing down Denver's open shots. They're not slowing down their offensive attack. Porter Jr. and Gordon, several of those guys have had open threes. Jamal Murray, yeah, he's hit a couple that were just Jamal Murray making a great play. But a lot of the threes Denver has had are wide open. And if Denver wasn't hitting these threes, then the game would be close, or Miami could be winning. But it's the fact Denver is making the threes, and they are at home, and they've got the crowd on their side. Miami's got to find a way to counterbalance that with a lot of threes of their own, or find a way, especially the guy that's shooting the ball the best from three. You got to stick to that guy. And I understand that's why Jokic has not been aggressive in this first half scoring the ball, because the way Jokic likes to operate, I get my teammates going first, and then I score later on in the game. Like usually the middle of the third to the beginning of the fourth, that's when Jokic says, I'm going to take over, I'm going to get my points. And then that's when usually Denver puts teams away. It's smart strategy by Jokic, smart strategy by Denver, because Denver's up by 17 points and Jokic has 10 points. That is incredible. That shows you how much help and support he gets from his teammates. And a lot of it is because of Jokic's passing ability, getting it to his teammates. They're making shots, padding his assist stats, and it pads the scoreboard because of the fact that when you're making threes and you're getting those passes from Jokic, it gives you more confidence to do more things. I mean, Aaron Gordon hasn't even really had to do much from the outside because he's been getting a lot of passes down low. He's been like operating as the center sometimes early on in this game. Jokic, Murray, top of the key, and they're like, Gordon's posting up because he's got the size to do it, and he's operating where he's comfortable in. And him hitting those shots down low could help build his confidence to start knocking down threes. Porter Jr. is already in a flow. Bruce Brown is as well. It's just spelling bad news for Miami. It's still plenty of time. Again, 2 halves in every game, but it's not looking good for Miami. Just is not looking good because Denver is doing all of the things they have done so far in this playoff series and all the things that have gotten them all these wins. Denver, their recipe for success, share the ball, knock down threes, pass the ball at a high level, and then Jokic gets going in the second half. And that's what they've been doing, and it's looking like that's going to happen again in this game unless Miami has something up their sleeve in this halftime, if Eric Spoelstra can get them to turn it around. Jeff says, I think Miami's going to have a hard time in the series. I don't think you're wrong. I think you definitely have a point, Jeff. I mean, overall, looking at the Heat, they've done great. But a lot of people did say that Boston needed to be the team here that got to the finals because they had the depth to match Denver. The argument between who had the deeper team with Boston or Denver still rages on. I mean, people have talked about, I think that Boston overall on paper, is the deepest team in the league when they want to be. When they're playing at a high level, they're potentially the best team in the NBA, but they're not consistent. So that's why Denver right now at this very moment is playing like the best team in the NBA because they are the most consistent team in the league. No other team has played this well every single game of the NBA playoffs. Denver, in their worst games, has played better than some of the other teams in this playoff have played in their best games. That's how good Denver's been. And I think that has been a big key for the Nuggets in their confidence is the fact that they've been able to withstand runs by other teams. They've been able to beat teams when they're playing. Well, that Lakers series did wonders for Denver's confidence because they swept the Lakers. And the Nuggets know the Lakers played hard. LeBron had 40 in one game. Anthony Davis had 40 in another game. And it's not like it was just those guys, and that was it. I mean, overall, looking at the Lakers, they had Rui Hachimura had that one game, he had like 26. And then you had Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, I think in the first 3 games of that series, had over 20 points every single game. So it wasn't all LeBron and Anthony Davis. I mean, they had other guys that were doing a pretty good job. But still, Denver beat them fairly comfortably in every single game. Some of them were close, but there was never like that one game that the Lakers were winning and the Denver came back. That was maybe the one game that the Lakers, you felt like maybe they were going to win that one. But outside of that game, the other 3 games, there was never really a point where you're going to say Denver's going to lose this game. Denver was in control. They just kept responding. And Jamal Murray, when he's on fire and then Jokic is doing what he's doing and then their teammates are knocking shots down, they're a great team. They're the most consistent team in the league, and that's what's going to get them an NBA title if they can keep it up for 4 more wins, if they can get them. Nana says, yes, I agree for sure, definitely. I do think that the Boston Celtics would have been the better team to play against Denver, but still with Boston being inconsistent, then who knows if they would have been able to compete with Denver all the way through the rest of the series. We don't know if they would have been able to hang with them all the way, to a game 7, potentially be able to win. I mean, Boston had it in them. You could tell they had it in them. That's why they were able to come back on Miami. That's why they won 3 games in a row. But Boston was just too inconsistent. And I don't know if they could shake that off in the future, because I know that there's trade talks with Jaylen Brown. We'll have to see what happens. Should be a really interesting offseason in the NBA. Should be a really interesting offseason for the Boston Celtics. I don't think they should trade Jaylen Brown right now. Too young. There's too many great years of being a fantastic player left. I definitely would keep Jaylen Brown. But I do think that the Boston need to figure out their consistency issues, because if not, then they're never going to be able to win an NBA title. Because in today's age of the NBA, there's so many great teams. You've got to be consistent. You've got to play at an extremely high level, game in and game out. And even your worst games, you got to play well, or you're not going to be able to win a title today. In this day and age, there's too many good teams. So Boston has to get a lot more consistent. Still really appreciate you for being here, Nana. Jeff says, when Jason Tatum got hurt, it was over. Yeah, that's a good point. Jason Tatum, I mean, he's a catalyst for the Celtics. I mean, he's the guy. He is definitely the best player on their team. And I think that you never want to make excuses, but I do think when he rolled his foot, it hurt. It hurt Boston, because Jaylen Brown was trying to do too much. He had like 8 turnovers, and he was making a lot of mistakes. And then Tatum just was not his normal self. So it definitely hurt their chances for sure. But still, Boston definitely struggled in a lot of other games as well, even when Tatum was healthy. So you've got a 2-pointer made by Bam, 59-44. Miami getting the first points of the second half, I think, are huge to be able to maybe help themselves get back, maybe get on a little bit of run, get back in this game a little bit. Jokic is at the top of the key. His 3 is off the mark. So Gabe Vincent, he's got the rebound, bringing the ball back the other way. 15-point lead for the Nuggets, 11:20 to go in the third quarter. Gabe Vincent off the dribble. Another score here would definitely help out the Heat. Bam in the lane again. Bam for 2. He knocks it down again. Bam is doing a solid job. Miami needed this type of Bam Adebayo in the Celtics series. They would have won that series sooner. Bam's got 20 points and 4 boards. This is the best that Bam Adebayo has looked since the regular season. This is awesome for Heat fans. If they can get Jimmy Butler, Strus, and Caleb Martin going, those guys, they could really start to maybe chip away at this lead for Denver. Bam is the one guy for Miami that's engaged. Jamal Murray at the top of the key. Denver still up by 13. 10:50 to go in the third quarter. Murray to Jokic. Jokic trying to drive in the lane. Kicks to Gordon in the corner. Gordon's trying to drive with a turnaround 2. Pretty good defense by Jimmy Butler. And Miami's got the ball again. They could chip away at it some more. Caleb Martin at the top of the key. Over to Max Strus. To Bam in the lane, to Butler. In the corner to Gabe Vincent. And Gabe Vincent for 3. Miami has cut it to 10. That is a 7-0 run to start this half. That is really solid for the Miami Heat. Getting it to 10 points. Still Michael Malone not calling a timeout. Trying to let his team play through it. Probably smart. Maybe one more score by the Heat, and you do call a timeout. Porter Jr. top of the key. He misses again. So Porter Jr.'s gone a little bit cold Gord's got a little bit cold. See a couple missed shots, and he can get Miami right back in the game. Bam down low. Good defense by Jamal Murray. He affected his shot just enough, forced him to miss right there. Jamal Murray down the lane, goes up strong. He lays it in and one. And Jamal Murray, sensing that the Heat were starting to gain a little bit of confidence, Jamal Murray says, not so fast, as Lee Corso would say, and he scores and one. That's a good play by Jamal Murray. Heads up play. You don't need a three. You don't have to keep chunking up shots. Get to the rim, draw contact, and that is what the Heat did. They bid for it, and Murray is going to have a free throw to boot, and he's a really solid free throw shooter as well. And right on cue, he knocks it down. So it's 62-49, 13-point lead for Denver. It's a big response because Miami started to chip away at the lead a little bit, and Jamal Murray definitely continuing to help the Nuggets maintain their lead. Murray has 21 points. He's doing a great job in this game. Jamal Murray is confident. Jamal Murray's knocking down threes. He's knocking down twos. He's doing it all right now. And with Jokic just facilitating, that is why they are up by 13 points. But still trying to withstand a little run by the Heat. You never want to get comfortable with the lead in the NBA. No lead is safe unless you're up by 15, 20 points with a couple minutes left because of the fact, with the quick nature and how teams can score this fast in the NBA, again, no lead is safe. But Gabe Vincent kicks the corner to Caleb Martin, and Caleb Martin, he's not able to hit that three. And he's got 0 points. So Caleb Martin and Max Strus already combined 0 of 14 from the field. All the while, Jamal Murray scores again, but they're not going to count the bucket. Jamal Murray had a nice looking two right there, and maybe they called an offensive foul on Jokic. That might be the case. Let's see if that is what happened. I think they are going to get Jokic. That was a late call. They could have not called that because they let it go, but then they ended up deciding to call it after the fact. Jimmy Butler on the other end after Miami called a break, could not score. Bam could not tip it back in. Porter Jr. for three. His shot's off the mark. Miami with the board. So both teams are getting a little bit cold from the field. 9 to go in the third. You've got Jimmy Butler at the top of the key, and he's got to get going for Miami. He's in the mid-range. Kicks to Vincent outside to Caleb Martin in the lane. Caleb Martin to Butler to Bam. There's too much passing for Miami. You had all those guys down low, and then Max Strus shoots the three. You had all those guys that were down low. Either Butler or Bam or Vincent could have taken a short two, and they decided to go with a three in the corner to Strus. I don't understand that offensive strategy, especially when you are struggling from the outside, but that is what Miami decided to do. Caleb Martin, these playoffs have been averaging 14 points per game for the Heat. He's got 0 points. Max Strus been averaging around 10 points per game. He's got 0. That's a big reason why Miami's down. Murray for two, and Murray scores again. So Murray might not have got that other two to go because they called an offensive foul on the Denver Nuggets. But that time he scored, and it's another and one. There's no way Miami can win this game if Jamal Murray continues to score like this. Murray's in the zone, and Caleb Martin just making mistake after mistake right there. He was too unselfish with the ball, and that drive should have went up with instead of passing. And then on the other end, he fouls Jamal Murray in the head, and Murray is hot right now, so you know he is going to make his free throws more than likely, and he does. 65-49, 16-point lead for Denver, and that little run Miami had to cut the lead, it is gone because the Denver Nuggets have extended the lead back out to about where they had it at the half. Butler does get a dunk on the other end. 65-51. That's a big play right there. Good pass by Bam. Little two-man game with Bam and Butler. Gets the dunk to go, but still Miami's going to need a lot more than that, down by 14. Murray for three, and Jamal Murray's shot was in and out. Had a great look. Just could not get it to fall. That was a great attempt by Murray. Bam with the ball for Miami, down by 14. Jimmy Butler has it. Top of the key. Again, he is still cold. Gabe Vincent fakes a three, kicks to Strus, and Strus is blocked by Aaron Gordon. Max Strus was trying to shoot a three. He's been cold all game anyway, but Aaron Gordon is not even going to let him have a chance to get that shot off. That was perfect timing by Aaron Gordon on the defensive end with that block. That was incredible. 65-51. 14-point lead for Denver. At least Miami is retaining possession of the ball. Down low, Bam misses the shot. He tried to go reverse, couldn't get it to go. Gordon to Porter Jr., and Porter Jr. tried to annihilate the rim, and he is fouled. That would have been an incredible dunk right there, but the Miami Heat denied him of that opportunity, but he will be rewarded with 2 free throws for getting fouled on that play. And when you're up in a game, it's a lot easier to hit your free throws because you are confident in your abilities. You are up. The crowd is on your side. The crowd is quiet when it is your home crowd because they want you to hit the free throws. And again, Porter Jr., he knocks down the first. So right now you've got the Denver Nuggets. They're getting to the line more than the Miami Heat, and they are hitting their free throws. So Denver's really just doing everything better than Miami right now. They're blocking more shots. They're hitting more free throws. Porter Jr. hits both shots. So it's 67-51. They're up by 16 again. Porter Jr. with 12 points, 8 rebounds. You've got Denver rebounding at a higher level, and they're hitting more threes. Miami is really struggling to shoot from the outside. The ball is poked out of bounds off of Porter Jr. Porter Jr. saying it's off of Butler, but he's not going to get the call. Eric Spoelstra, he has a big looking concern on his face because his Heat team can't get anything going. 7:30 to go in the third quarter. Bam fakes it to Strus, and Bam with the dunk down low. And again, Bam continues to be the one guy for the Heat that continues to play hard. He's got 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's been doing a great job. 7:10 to go in the third. Jokic driving in on Bam, tries to go up strong. It looks like there's a foul. Bam is upset, but there is a foul on that play. Bam just could not go up completely straight with the block right there. Jeff says, I bet Jaylen Brown gets a max contract. That's possible. I mean, I think that Jaylen Brown's a fantastic player. He might already have a max contract. I'm not 100% sure, but if he doesn't, he will. But he might already have one. But I think Boston needs to keep him. Jokic knocks down the first free throw, so it's 68-53, 15-point lead for Denver. Miami's not completely out of this game. They're not down by too much, but again, just not finding a way to chip away enough at the Denver Nuggets lead. Jokic does miss the second free throw. But Bam Adebayo in 24 minutes is 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 fouls. Definitely, again, Jokic's weakness a little bit is on the defensive end. Bam's taking advantage of it. Bam gets by Jokic again, and Bam misses, but then you got a tap back by Jimmy Butler. 68-55, 13-point lead for Denver. That's what Bam's got to do, though. He's got to counteract Jokic with points. Jokic is going to do his thing, score and pass. Bam's got to score on the other end with the little bit of the weakness of Jokic on defense. Denver up 13, 6:30 to go in the third quarter. Top of the key. Jamal Murray driving in the lane. Thought about the 2 kicks to Jokic, and Jokic for 3. Jokic is always money late in the shot clock. There was 1 second to go, and he knocks down the 3. 71-55. That's a big shot by Jokic. And then you got Gabe Vincent on the other, and he drew that contact on KCP. KCP, he fell for that. You cannot ever bid for a fake call up poke. Just cannot do it. What a play by Gabe Vincent. Got him right in the air. But what an even better play by Jamal Murray with the wherewithal to kick it to Jokic while in the air. And Jokic drains the 3. Ice in Jokic's veins because that guy can hit threes late in the shot clock. He does it all the time. It's almost like when there's more pressure on him is when he plays at his best. That was a fantastic 3. Jackson says that was an awesome dunk by 13 from the awesome dunk by Bam Adebayo. For sure, Bam, he definitely bammed that one home. That was a great dunk by Adebayo, but he needs help. Just like I thought Jimmy Butler would be the one that would need help. It seems like Bam Adebayo is the one that needs help because he is playing at a high level. He's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job in this game. I think, again, part of it is because of the fact that Jokic does not prioritize defense as much as the offensive end. He's a great offensive player, can defend, but Bam's getting his points, and that's what he has to do, but he needs help. The undrafted 4 are just as important to the situation for the Heat as Bam and Butler, and you've got 2 of them. 2 of the undrafted 4 currently with 0 points. Caleb Martin has no points at all in this game. Max Strus has no points in this game. That is not sustainable. They got to start hitting some shots for Miami to assist Bam. Butler's got to get going more. Gabe Vincent, he's been solid, but he hasn't been as good as he has been lately either. It's just Miami is struggling all around. Jackson says the Joker makes the three, and booyah. That was a big shot. I believe that Jokic, again, is more clutch when the shot clock is going down, when there's more pressure on him. That guy is fantastic at shooting the three. He is a fantastic passer. Nikola Jokic, you can make an argument. Some people would say he is the best player in the NBA right now. I don't know. There's other great players, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Durant, LeBron, and just so many players, Curry, but Jokic, best all-around player in the league right now, I think that has to be a given for sure. He's that good. He is fantastic. Jackson is fantastic assist by Murray. That's the underrated thing about Murray. As great of a scorer as Jamal Murray is, he's a good passer too. He actually can pass the ball. He is a pretty good facilitator. He's not a true point guard. He doesn't really play like a true point guard, but he can handle the ball, and he can distribute the ball like a point guard at times. I think the thing that makes Denver such a cool team is that you do have Jokic, you do have Murray, you do have KCP. All these guys can kind of handle the ball, but Bruce Brown, and they can facilitate, and you can't stop a team when they've got multiple facilitators out there on the floor. It makes it almost impossible to stop, because that means that you try to shut down one of those facilitators, the other guys are going to go out there and pass to the teammates as well, just of a high of a level. And you look at the fact that Denver never has both Jokic and Murray on the bench. One of them is on the floor at all times, and then with the rest of the role players, sometimes you can't even call them role players. That's how impactful that they are. Denver is definitely a deep team with a great chance to win the title this year if they keep up this level of play. Jackson, if the Nuggets win the finals, watch for Murray to be the finals MVP. That's possible for sure. I mean, Jokic, with all that he does, I think definitely will get a look for finals MVP if they do win. But Murray can get it as well. Crazy. They said the last championship appearance for the Nuggets was in the 1976 ABA finals, when they were not even in the NBA, when they were in the ABA before they merged. That is so cool. Such history right there. The Nuggets, though, with a chance to win a title. It's going to be crazy if they can get it done. Vincent misses on the other end. Jokic with the board. Going up the floor. What a pass to KCP. KCP misses, though, going up. But that was a great pass by Jokic to start the break. Butler to Duncan Robinson, back to Butler for two, and Butler's ice cold. He can't hit that mid-range shot. Vincent tries to save it, but it's right to Jamal Murray. Bad play right there. Murray whips it in the corner to Caldwell Pope for three. 74-55, 19-point lead for the Nuggets. 5:30 to go in the third quarter, and Miami is in a lot of trouble. They're falling behind again. 7 of 17 from three for Denver, 5 of 21 from three for the Heat. Butler to Bam for two, and Bam scores. That's a big shot. That is a big shot. Bam continues his brilliance in this game. He has been awesome in this game. Really the only Miami Heat player that is actually hot right now, that is playing at a high level. He's got 24 points, 8 boards, 3 assists. Murray to Jokic, under 5 to go in the third. Porter Jr. for three. His shot's off the mark, and you've got a rebound by Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin going down the floor. To Duncan Robinson, to Butler. Butler's down low, trying to make a move down low on KCP. Butler's got the height and size advantage. He instead kicks it out to Duncan Robinson, and that's been the entire problem for the Heat. Robinson with an open three. He can't knock it down. Those were shots Miami was making in the Celtics series. Denver up by 17. Jamal Murray with the ball, driving into the lane. What contact right there, and there's an offensive foul. Insane. That was a really good drive by Jamal Murray, but just little bit too much there. All the way to the rim. And Gabe Vincent, he stepped in front of him. Looked like he did square his shoulders. And they're going to call that an offensive foul. His feet were beyond the restricted arc. But Miami's gone cold from the outside. Miami's not going to have a chance in this game if they don't start making shots. It is such a better job in the Celtics series of making shots. They're just not doing it in this series. And I don't know if it's because Denver's playing good defense. I think that's part of the reason. But some of these shots have been open. They're just not making the shots. Butler on the right block, trying to drive on Gordon. kicks to Caleb Martin for three, and finally the Heat knock down a three. Caleb Martin gets it to go. That's a big shot for Martin and the Heat. 74-60. That is the first made basket for Caleb Martin. 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Murray with the basketball. Tries to get it down low to Jokic, and there is a kick ball. RC says, this is so embarrassing. Really appreciate you for stopping by. RC covers the WNBA and NBA. I would have to agree. It's not a complete embarrassment. Not like Miami's getting blown out by 30, like Memphis did against the Lakers, like we saw in a couple of games Boston did against the Heat in that one game. But definitely not too good from the Heat. Could be a lot better. If they could start playing better, that would definitely help. Porter Jr. with a mid-range 2. That's a good sign for Denver that Porter Jr. is still hot. 76-60, 16-point lead for Denver. 14 points, 9 boards for Porter Jr. 3:30 to go on the third. Bam with a 2, can't get it to fall. And if he starts to go cold, the only player that's been playing well for Miami, that might be all she wrote for the Heat. Murray off the dribble in the corner. Murray misses a shot. That was a great look for Murray with a step back, just couldn't get it to fall. Now you've got Butler going back the other way. Miami in desperate need of any points. He misses a mid-range 2. Porter Jr. with the rebound up the floor to Aaron Gordon. Gordon to Porter Jr. in the lane. Out to Jamal Murray. Butler only has 11.7 boards, 5 assists. Is not going to get it done for Miami if they want to have a shot here. Bruce Brown for 3. He knocks it down. So many guys for Denver are on fire, and now they're up by 19. Their largest lead of the game. 79-60. 2:51 to go in the third quarter. Can the Miami Heat find a way to hang in this series? Can Eric Spoelstra settle them down, hang in this game, find a way to be able to win, maybe steal one on the road at the Denver Nuggets? I'm just not sure at this point, the way that they are playing. Still, you've got game 2, and if Tyler Hero returns, maybe they'll play better. Maybe they'll have the depth to match. Maybe they'll have the scoring to match Denver. But the way Denver's playing right now, they look like the best team in the NBA by far, and there's still so many games to go, even if Miami, who technically isn't out of this game either. But if Miami does not win this game, there's still more games to go. But the Denver Nuggets are playing so well, it is just not looking good for the Heat. Jeff says Murray and Joker are a fantastic duo. Sometimes you've got guys that you say those are two great players, but then sometimes you've got a perfect pair, a fantastic duo, as you say, Jeff, and I agree with you. Jokic and Murray, two completely different players, play two completely different positions, but both are fantastic for what they provide for the Denver Nuggets. They are both great. And then you look at the rest of the guys that Denver has. Again, it's a cliche at this point, but if Denver did not have Caldwell Pope, Bruce Brown, Porter Jr., and Gordon, all these guys playing so well, there's no way that the Denver Nuggets would be this good. But they are this good because of the fact that they have so many guys out there helping out Murray and Jokic. It's unbelievable how well these guys are playing. They're also confident, and I still believe that Jokic is the main reason why, because he puts so much confidence in his teammates to be able to make shots. He puts them in positions to succeed with his great passing. That is why Denver is winning this game. That's why Denver's had such a great year. And Murray's reemergence as the second star for Denver coming off of his injury has been huge for them as well. Murray looks like he's regaining his bubble form. He was fantastic in the 2020 bubble, and now he's playing fantastic basketball yet again. And when you've got Jokic and Murray playing as well as they are, and the other guys playing well, it makes them almost unstoppable. Go Tigers, a.k.a. Edward. Thanks for stopping by. So sad this man, Caleb Martin, turned into Steph Curry against Boston. And this is going to be an awful finals. Yeah, I mean, the way it's looking right now, it's not looking too good. I have to completely agree with you, Edward. I mean, trying to be optimistic, still a long way to go. Long way to go in these finals. Still many games to go. Even got this game left. Maybe Miami can make a run. But like you said, looking at it realistically right now, it is definitely looking better for Denver than ever before. That Miami won against Boston. because Miami just don't have the depth, and maybe the fatigue might be setting in. They're really struggling right now in this game. Like you said, I feel like Boston would have been the better matchup. Like you said, Caleb Martin was great against Boston. Really, all the undrafted four, you had Jimmy Butler at key moments playing so well. Miami just had enough guys playing well, and unfortunately, the Boston Celtics were just too inconsistent. The inconsistency really bit them hard, and it really hurt their chances of being able to win that series because they just could not get consistency from game to game. They played well at times, and they played really bad at times. And Boston is a much better team than we saw in Game 3 and really in Game 7. They're much better than that, but Boston did not get it done. But like you said, if Caleb Martin didn't play that well ever, Boston probably would be in the NBA Finals. Cody Zeller, he's got the ball. He's into the game for the Heat. Erik Spoelstra trying to go with some other guys, see if they can get anything going. Lowry, he can't hit the mid-range too. So Denver has a chance to go up by 20 plus. Miami has 4 timeouts left. Denver has 4 timeouts left. Jamal Murray with 24.6 boards and 8 assists to Jokic, who has a double-double already. Bruce Brown driving into the lane. 4-2, and he knocks it down. That's a great play by Bruce Brown. Driving into the teeth of the defense and just getting a really nice short jumper / floater to go. And he got it to fall. It's a good play. And then you've got on the other end Miami, Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson. I don't know what that play was. It looks like two guys that did not know where to be on the floor, like a mismatch on that switch, and then they ran right into each other. Miscommunication right there for sure. Bench points to the West team. Bruce Brown, 183. Rest of the team, 110. That's why they call Bruce Brown their 6th starter. He's been that good for the Denver Nuggets. Cody Zeller at the top of the key. Thought about taking the shot. He does not. Kicks it over to Butler. Butler to Lowry. Driving in the lane, Lowry kicks to Hayden Highsmith, and even Hayden Highsmith can't knock down the 3. Erik Spoelstra's going with every guy that he feels maybe could help out his team and start knocking some shots down, but it's not helping. They just cannot get shots to fall. They are really struggling all around. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. 81-60. 21-point lead for Denver. They're up fairly comfortably in the Heat. Are they out of gas? Will they have a shot? Finally, Denver makes a mistake. Bruce Brown kicks to Jokic, and Jokic loses the ball out of bounds. Bruce Brown said, it's on me. Sometimes you make a mistake. You're trying to do the telegraph play, trying to get the ball to your guy. It just does not work out, but still no harm, no foul for Denver. Still up by 21. 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Just don't want to make a habit of turning the ball over. Hayden Highsmith in the lane. Goes up for 2. He misses the shot, and Porter Jr. rips that board down, not allowing Miami to get it back. Porter Jr. in the corner to Jeff Green outside to Jokic. He thought about the 3, tries to blow by Zeller. He misses the shot. So Jokic, I think he's going to have free throws, however. So it looks like there was a foul on the Heat. Jeff says if Miami played like this in the final game with Boston, Boston would have won. 100%. That is a great point, Jeff. 100%. That's one of those things where it's like you look at, the Miami Heat. They won the game that they had to have. Game 7. They beat Boston, and nothing will take that away from them. But like you said, if they played like they played in this game so far tonight against Boston, they probably wouldn't have won. Boston still would have probably won, even though Boston played as poorly as they did as well. Miami's really struggling. Jokic, he splits a pair of free throws, so it's 82-60, 22-point lead for Denver. They are in cruise control. They're 10-12 at the line. Miami's only 2 of 2. Miami is not getting to the foul line at all in this game. Robinson for 3. He can't hit. Jokic with another board. Jokic is controlling the glass on both ends. Down the floor. Jokic kicks outside to Bruce Brown in the lane, and Bruce Brown scores effortlessly again, 84-60, 24-point lead for the Nuggets. Bruce Brown's great. He's a great player. Kyle Lowry, 4-3. He does respond the other end. That's a good play. Nice screen set by the Heat. Good play, but again, just looks like it might be a little too late here. They're running out of time. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Denver has been playing so well consistently throughout all of these playoff series. They've been doing a great job. Something Boston couldn't do. Denver is doing it. That's why Miami is down by 21 right now. I think that Denver does turn the basketball over, and they're going to call an 8-second violation, a backcourt violation. But Miami just cannot play this poorly and expect to win against Denver. Miami's going to have to do a much better job. than this if they're going to want to have a chance, because Denver just doesn't like they're going to play bad. Denver does not like a team that's going to really just struggle out of nowhere and allow the Miami Heat to hang with them, even though they're not playing that great. I mean, Murray's got 24, Jokic 15, Gordon 14, Porter Jr. 14, Brown with 10. That is depth right there. That is a bunch of guys all playing well. It's fantastic. 15 seconds left in the third. 24 assists for Denver, 18 for Miami. Jimmy Butler, top of the key. Can he get a bucket? A little bit of momentum going for the Heat in the third quarter. He drives in the lane, kicks to Duncan Robinson in the corner. He tries to kick to Max Strus. 3 seconds to go. Strus still off the mark. Denver with the ball at the end of the third. Miami could not get anything going there at the end of the third quarter. It's 84-63. And the Miami Heat definitely look like they're about out of hope in this game. They're on the road, hostile crowd, and Denver is confident as ever. There's no rust, it seems, from being off for so many games after they beat the Lakers. They are playing great basketball. Go Tigers says, yeah, kill Boston. That Tatum got hurt in the first 20 seconds also. Yeah, 100%, Edward. I completely agree. Jaylen Brown tried to take over, had 8 turnovers. He's not a guy that's, he can take over a game, but if he's struggling, then it's not going to happen. He really just was struggling in that game, unfortunately, for Boston. So it is what it is. But Tatum getting hurt, it definitely messed up Boston. But Marcus Smart didn't play that well. Al Horford didn't play that well. All those guys really struggled. Derek White was the majority of the offense for Boston. So they definitely needed the other guys to step up with Tatum not being 100%, but it just didn't happen. But it is unfortunate, Edward, for sure. But really appreciate you for stopping by. It does stink for Boston that they did not, be able to beat the Heat because of the fact now a lot of people already count Miami out. I wouldn't count them out yet in this series. This game's looking like they're not going to have a good chance here, but I wouldn't count them out completely in the series, but it's not looking good at all because of the fact that the Heat are a team that they're not capable of really coming back on, especially when they're playing a team like Denver, that once they get a big lead, they usually keep that lead. The Ohio State for the win. Thanks for stopping by. So what's up, Only Talk Sports? I'm doing really good. I hope you're doing really good as well. The Denver Nuggets, they are doing good also. They are up by 21 at the end of the third quarter, sucking the life out of the Heat and not giving them really any chance in this game so far. The Ohio State, I just turned the game on. Denver is in total control. Yeah, probably a shock if you haven't watched any of the game before and you just turn it on to see Denver up this much. I mean, a lot of people probably thought it would be a closer game. I mean, I thought maybe Denver would win maybe like 5-10 in this game. I mean, Miami, some people probably thought they have a chance because they did win the first game at Boston. But still, it's not happening tonight the way they're playing. They'll have to have a fantastic fourth quarter to have a shot, but I don't think that's going to happen more than likely. But we'll have to see. Never over till it's over. The Ohio State says Denver's much more consistent than Boston. 100% the Ohio State. Plays much better together as a team more often, seems more motivated, and plays like everything's on the line consistently, unlike Boston. I agree with everything you just said. Boston's a great team. They've got the depth, but they, for whatever reason, don't always play well. Denver has been playing well consistently. Every single game I've watched Denver play in these playoffs, they've been great, even when they haven't won. They've never played a poor game. They've never just been awful. Denver has been really, really solid. And like you said, consistency is key. And if Boston played like Denver, they really would have a much better chance to be in this position right now in the finals, but they're not because of their inconsistency. The Ohio State and Boston could have been like Denver. Boston isn't for points just mentioned. The Ohio State also Nuggets are so good at home. Also, Boston only went 5-6 at home in the playoffs. You got to win at home. You got to win at home for sure because of the fact that is where you've got your home crowd. That's where sometimes calls maybe might go your way. Other things might go your way overall. But still, the biggest benefactor is your home crowd. And the confidence being in the friendly confines at home. You should play better. And like you said, the Ohio State, Denver rarely loses at home. In the regular season, they had a great record. And they've been great in these playoffs. Have they even lost a game? I'm not 100% sure if they've lost a game or not. I don't even think they've lost a home game yet in the playoffs. They've been that good. Murray and Jokic have scored or assisted on 69 points. Miami, 63 total points. That right there sums up this game. Murray and Jokic have been better than the entire Miami team. But as I say that, Murray, right to start the fourth quarter, turns it over. A mistake, and Hayden Highsmith picked his pocket, and he laid it in 84-65, 19-point game, 11:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Can't get sloppy if you're Denver in the fourth because you have a big lead. Just a mistake by Murray. Just don't want to keep doing mistakes like that. Jokic misses on the other end. Miami, potentially Denver giving them a little bit of hope. Back the other way. Duncan Robinson, screen set by Bam. Bam with the ball outside to Kyle Lowry. Lowry trying to make a move, kicks in the corner to Gabe Vincent for three, and Gabe Vincent knocks down the shot. 84-68. Here comes Miami. They've only cut it to 16. Still a long way to go to get back in the game, but still 16 points is a lot better than 21. Jokic with the ball. Kicks down low to Murray for a mid-range two, and Murray's shot was in and out. Had a great look. That's usually a money shot for Murray, just did not drop. 10:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Duncan Robinson, top of the key. Can he get going in the fourth quarter? For the Heat, Kyle Lowry outside to Gabe Vincent, wide open in the corner again. He misses another three. That can't make Michael Malone happy, though. It's playing with fire. You had Gabe Vincent wide open in the corner. You could have been able to defend that a little bit better. If he hits that shot, Miami cuts it to 13. Denver's got to guard a little bit better than that. Jamal Murray at the top of the key, trying to make a move. He's driving into the lane. Starts to take a step back three. He's off the mark, and he bricks the three. He bricks the three right there. Unbelievable. Go Tigers says Denver is fully healthy. Boston had JT with a wrist injury all season. He needs 34+ in Game 7. He turned his ankle bad. JB had a hyperextended elbow. Brogdon had a torn tendon in his arm. Definitely for sure. I mean, when you point out all the injuries, it is what it is. But you got to play through it. You got to play through those injuries. And Boston did for 3 games. They came back from 3 down, got it to 3-3, and then they still ended up losing. But, I mean, like you said, Edward, you're right. The injuries play a role. But Miami has Hero and Oladipo out, and Vincent missed a game. So you can use the injury argument as well for the Heat. At least Boston was trying to play through the injuries. Unfortunately for them, they just couldn't get it done. Injuries, unfortunately, happen. They're definitely a part of the game. Boston still needs to be more consistent, but you are right. Injuries maybe are playing a bit of a role. And right there, Kyle Lowry off the ball screen, knocks down a three. And Michael Malone calls timeout. 84-71. He does not look like what he is saying right there. Look right there. You've got Kyle Lowry knocking down the wide open three. Jokic doesn't even put a hand up. Doesn't even put a hand up in Kyle Lowry's face. That is not going to get it done on defense. You cannot cruise control in the fourth quarter. Doesn't matter if you're up by 20 to start the quarter. If you are the Denver Nuggets, the Heat still can come back. And whenever a team still has a chance to come back, you got to keep playing great defense. You still got to play really good on the offensive end. Denver's had a couple of good looks on offense, so I don't think the offense is the issue, but their defense is starting to get lax. And that's the thing. I really do feel I'm not taking away what Denver's done on the defensive end. I think they've been solid on the defensive end, but I do believe that the Denver Nuggets have given the Heat a lot of wide open looks. They've gotten a lot of wide open shots. It's just for whatever reason, Miami has not been knocking the shots down. So Denver has been getting kind of lucky that Max Strus, that Caleb Martin, that Duncan Robinson have not been hitting threes. But now they're starting to fall a little bit in the fourth quarter, and Michael Malone is calling a timeout, trying to get his team to say, hey, we're not done yet. We're not out of the woods yet. There's still 10 minutes to go. We're only up by 13. Miami can easily come back. We need to settle it down and pull this one away. The Ohio State says, I hope this is a good finals. I will have to miss a good amount of the finals. I will be traveling next week from June 7th to June 12th. Well, that's crazy. Hope your travels go well via Ohio State, but I really appreciate you for being here tonight. Definitely. If you are too busy to come on, definitely hope that your travels go well, but I do appreciate you for being here, and definitely hope it is a good finals. You don't want it to be a blowout. You just do not want the series to be 4-0 and Denver wins. I mean, if Denver wins their first finals, that's awesome. That really is awesome. But still, I do believe overall that it would be better if the finals is close and they maybe go to 6-7 games. Even if Denver does win, it would be a lot more fun that way. The Ohio State says that is true. Denver playing fully healthy has helped. I completely agree. Health is definitely a key factor. And Miami is not healthy, and Boston obviously was not healthy either, even though their guys were playing. Go Tigers to Denver is a huge advantage at home with the altitude, though. That is a super huge advantage. Yeah, because some teams, some players, aren't really good at playing that high up in the air. It does make a difference. It definitely plays a role because of the fact that with, the altitude, it kind of changes the dynamic, the way you feel, the air that you breathe. Everything's just a little bit different. I completely agree. In Denver, they're used to it, so it's a good point. The Ohio State says, I still think Boston had a terrible game plan in Game 7 versus Heat, shooting way too many threes when they were bricking everything. Yeah, you can't keep shooting threes when they're not falling. When you're not making them, you got to stop shooting them. You got to change it up. You got to go with what is working and what it will work for Boston. And I know part of that with Tatum being injured, he couldn't really do it. But usually Tatum and Brown are always great off the dribble, always great at getting to the rim and getting, to the free throw line, where they're great at free throws. That's what Boston is usually good at doing when they're not shooting the three. But sometimes, even when they're fully healthy, I feel like Boston sometimes falls in love with the three-point line. You just can't continue to do it if it's not working. Got to find a way to get to the rim. The Ohio State said Boston may have had more injuries, but Denver's played so much smarter, more consistently than Boston has. I still completely agree with you, the Ohio State. You got to be able to play consistent, even through an injury, if you are going to play. Go Tigers said when your star player is hurt and the Heat are doubling JB, you have to have other player make shot. Boston started running the off through Derek White, then he hurt his knee in the third. Yeah, Derek White was doing a really solid job. Everybody got banged up, but that's what the NBA playoffs are all about, banging around and fighting and doing everything you can to win. It's really tough for the Boston Celtics. They have a great team, and maybe next year will be their year. We'll have to see, but they'll need to get more consistent and more healthy. Jokic misses on the other end. 9:30 to go in the fourth. Miami is cutting down the Denver Nuggets lead. They've got to 13, another bucket here. Lowry for three. He knocks it down. 84-74, 10-point game. We might have a game yet. Miami might not be done. 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Denver has not hit a bucket yet in the fourth. Miami's on a roll. They're on an 11-0 run. 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Jokic with the ball. Top of the key being guarded by Hayden Highsmith. Now you've got Jamal Murray down low to Jokic to Jeff Green. What a play by Jokic, and that is what the Denver Nuggets need to do. Get back to their bread and butter. Get Jokic in a situation where he can find the open guy. That's when he's at his best. 15 points, 9 boards, 13 assists for Jokic. Only 7 shots taken as well. Unbelievable. Duncan Robinson down low to Hayden Highsmith. Outside to Gabe Vincent for 3, and Gabe Vincent can't respond with the 3 right there. That would have been a big shot for the Heat. The Ohio State says, I agree with your points. Go Tigers. Are you a Celtics fan? Go Tigers says, yes, born and raised. The Ohio State says, that makes sense why you're defending your team. Edwards says, I think that Denver is going to beat the Heat pretty badly. It's looking like that for sure. Definitely got to defend the team you love, though. Edward, he definitely always providing that Celtics coverage for sure. Really appreciate you for being here, Edward, and the Ohio State. 8:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Caldwell Pope at the top of the key over to Jamal Murray. Over to Porter Jr., and Porter Jr. misses an open 3 in the corner. Had a pretty good look. But outside of the Jeff Green reverse layup from the Jokic pass, Denver only has 2 points. This is a chance for Miami. Duncan Robinson misses a 3. Now Denver has the ball going back the other way. That would have been a big shot for Miami. Miami's had 2 good looks from 3 that they haven't hit. And Jokic on the other end's fouled. When Jokic is 1 foot from the rim, all you can do is either foul or give up the 2 points. Miami decides to foul. But still, if Miami hits these past 2 threes, they've got this to around a 6-point game. They've had their chances, actually, to start this fourth quarter. You can't expect them to hit every shot. But Duncan Robinson had a pretty good look. Gabe Vincent had a pretty good look. Neither of them were able to knock down the shot. And if Jokic hits these 2 free throws, that puts Denver back up by 14. It's starting to erase what Miami has done getting back in this game. Jokic hits the first. So it's 87-74. 7:58 to go in the fourth. Jack says, ooh, I love this 11-0 run by the Heat. Yeah, for sure, because at least it gives, Miami Heat fans hope that they can hang in this series potentially, maybe have a shot to win game 2 if they can get Hero back, that they're not completely folding and giving up. Jokic knocks them both down. 88-74, 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Denver's 12 of 14 at the line. Miami is 2 of 2. No free throws for the Heat, which is another reason why they're losing. Bam Adebayo loses the basketball out of bounds, and things are starting to trail back in the wrong direction for the Heat. Denver with a couple more buckets could put Miami away. That is insane. Miami's a team that usually gets to the line way more than 2 times a game. That is crazy. Denver being very disciplined, not fouling Miami. Miami settling for a lot of threes, not getting fouled at all. Jokic down low. He loses the ball. Duncan Robinson down the floor. And then Hayden Highsmith gets it stripped from Bruce Brown. Murray with the behind-the-back dribble. What a sweet play. Porter Jr. drives into the lane. kicks to Jokic, 4-2. 90-74. That was a sick pass from Porter Jr. to Jokic. 90-74, 16-point lead for the Nuggets after Miami had cut it down to around 10 points. They looked like they were going to have maybe a shot, but Denver starting to extend it back again. The Ohio State is crazy. Jokic has only taken 7 shots. Others have stepped up big time for Denver. Yeah, I agree with you. The Ohio State, it's 100%. That's why they're winning. You don't need Jokic to have 25. That's the thing when you talk about a team and they have to have a guy have a lot of points. You look at like the Suns, for example. Booker and Durant were both going to have 35, 40 points if the Suns were going to win. They beat the Nuggets twice, but that's because Durant and Booker both at 35 and 40 points in those 2 games. The Suns lost the series because they didn't have anybody else. Denver, you've got Jokic, like you said, only having taken 7 shots, and they're up by 16. Murray's been pretty solid, but if Denver didn't have the amount of role players that were so good, like they do, then they would be potentially losing this game right now if Jokic has only taken 7 shots. But see, Jokic is only taking 7 shots because he knows he doesn't have to do it all if his teammates are playing well. He's a really smart player that knows when it's his time to score and when it's his time to pass. It's just very smart basketball by Michael Malone and the Denver Nuggets. The Ohio State said, regardless of what happens in the finals, this will be history. We'll either see the first AC to win the finals, the Nuggets win their first title. 100%. The Ohio State. A lot of people have been talking about that for sure. It's really cool. Either way you go, it's going to be history. I think it'd be cool either way. I think more people will really want to see the Nuggets potentially win their first title. I know that Miami being the underdog, being the 8th seed, will be really cool. Be really cool as well, since the 99 Knicks couldn't get it done. But right now, the way this game and the series is looking so far, it's looking like it's going to be a long and hard time for the Heat to be able to get it done. Not going to be impossible. Don't think that they're not going to have a chance to maybe win a game or 2 in the series, but they're going to have to play much better than this if they want to beat Denver. Denver is not Boston, where they were very inconsistent. Denver's doing a great job consistently game in and game out. Miami is not going to be able to beat Denver unless either Denver starts to play bad out of nowhere or Miami plays a whole lot better. The Ohio State says Miami only has 2 free throws. Wow, again, crazy. Denver's done a great job of defending without fouling, a key component in winning a game. Go Tigers says Heat playing like they won the championship against Boston. Forgot they had to play Denver. That's funny, Edward. I mean, you never know. It's just one of those things where winning the Eastern Conference Finals is great, but you want to continue to play hard to be able to win the whole thing. And I don't think Miami's given up. Bam's played solid, but you could contribute that maybe to Jokic not being the best defender in the world. But still, it's crazy for sure. But overall, like you said, Edward, the Heat, they're not playing like they were against Boston. Look like potentially they feel like they won the championship. It's crazy. Go Tigers and Miami jacking up threes like crazy, not much driving. Yeah, you can't continue to shoot threes like that. Miami has to drive. Miami has to get to the line because when you get to the line, it gives yourself confidence. See, we got the ball in the net. We got the ball in the net. I'm starting to gain some confidence. Then maybe I can go out there and be able to start making some threes. You look at Derek White. That's what he did, for the Celtics in the third quarter. He got to the line a couple of times against Miami, and then what he decided to do is he decided to start to shoot some threes and jump shots because he hit those free throws. It built the confidence up of Derek White because he got those free throws to go. Miami's not getting to the line. That's not helping their confidence in any way, shape, or form. 7 to go in the fourth quarter. Gabe Vincent at the top of the key to Kyle Lowry. Back to Vincent. Under 7 to go. Down low to Bam. Bam for 2. And Bam again being the only offense for Miami. 90-76, 6:50 to go in the fourth. Go Tigers said, but you have to put your phone in Joker with the passing ability. It's going to have guys shooting wide open shots for sure. I mean, that's what happens when you have Jokic down low. All he has to do is kick it outside to one of his teammates, and they knock down a 3. There's just not much the Heat can do. 90-76, 6:30 to go in the fourth. Murray off the dribble with a turnaround, and Jamal Murray with the sweet step back too. 97-76. That's a great shot. And Jokic, meanwhile, is on the bench with a breather. We'll have to see if he comes back in the game. Miami can cut it closer. They probably will bring him back in. Gabe Vincent scores for 2, 92-78. Miami's still not completely out of the game, but Denver again in cruise control. If they can get to around 105, 110, you feel like they would be in great shape to win this game. 6 to go in the fourth. Jamal Murray at the top of the key, trying to make a move on Hayden Highsmith. He kind of does, but he almost would have traveled, so he kicks outside to Bruce Brown. He misses the three, so it's 92-78. Still 5:40 to go in the fourth. Lowry in the lane trying to make a move, kicks over to Highsmith. Back to Lowry for three in the corner. Lowry over Murray, can't make the shot. That's been the big key for Miami. Not getting to the line, not getting fouled. They're shooting a bunch of threes. They're 10-34 from three. They've hit 10 threes, so they've hit more threes in Denver, but they've shot a lot of them, and they haven't been that efficient. Porter Jr. pulls from three. No passing on that possession. Michael Malone probably won't like that, but Porter Jr. did take some time off the shot clock, couldn't make the shot. Now Hayden Highsmith in the corner, and right on cue, Miami misses another three. They're not getting to the rim. They're not getting to the foul line, and Miami continues to struggle from the outside. 92-78. 5 to go in the fourth. Jamal Murray's had a stellar game with the ball in his hands. His team with a fairly comfortable lead. He's got the ball. Trying to make a pass. 2 on the shot clock. Murray for 3. He couldn't pass it to nobody because of the fact the Heat were hounding him on defense, and he got the shot off. He missed the shot, and now it looks like there might be a foul on Kyle Lowry down low, and he's furious. He's going off to the ref that he did not foul on that play. Did he foul? I'm not sure. Yeah, he did. He got Caldwell Pope on the shoulder. That is a foul. I don't really know what Kyle Lowry's complaining about. That was a foul. The Ohio State said this could be like the 99 Knicks winning the East as an 8 seed but having no chance of losing the Spurs in 5 in the NBA Finals in 1999. That season was Spurs' first championship. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like that potentially, the Ohio State. You never want to say it's over already, but like you said, it's definitely looking like Denver is in great shape right now. And the fact that the Heat just can't really do anything overall, it could be that situation. Just like the Knicks in 99 against the Spurs. Spurs were fantastic. It was the start of their dynasty. Go Tigers said, yeah, Joker's a traffic cone on defense. That's hilarious. He's a much better offensive player than a defensive player. And right on cue, Jokic not defending on that play. Backdoor cut. Jimmy Butler with the dunk. Good pass by Bam. 92-80, Pat Riley still hoping his Miami Heat can make a comeback. But right there, right on key, that's a big play. Bam with the pass to Butler. That's one thing about Jokic. If Jokic was a great defender, then, I mean, that would make it almost insane, overall, how good Jokic would be if he was a great defender as well as a great offensive player. It would make him almost unstoppable. But since the fact that he is a much better offensive player than defensive player, at least it gives a player like Bam Adebayo a chance to score some points. And at least he has taken advantage of that for Miami, which is why they're only down 12. The Ohio State says Adebayo's having a great game, at least for Miami. Again, completely 100%. The Ohio State, he's taking advantage of Jokic's defense. The Ohio State's a crazy stat I found earlier this week is that every time Kevin Love has made the playoffs, he has at least made the NBA Finals. That's crazy. That is insane. I maybe saw that, but I would not have remembered that for sure. That's crazy. That is insane, the Ohio State. Crazy stat. The Ohio State also, Love made the finals in 2015 through 18 with the Cavs, and this year with the Heat, and every other season of his career failed to reach the playoffs. That's insane. Obviously had LeBron at the Cavaliers. That definitely helped get to the finals, but still, like you said, making the finals this year. Definitely Kevin Love's not like, he was like the biggest contributor to the Heat being able to get to the finals here, but he helped. I mean, he had his moments. But Denver does not need to cruise control their way to a win here. Find a way to squeak this one out. They need to put away Miami to help themselves with their confidence for game 2. Denver's had a great game, but they're kind of falling apart in the fourth. They've only got 8 points in 8 minutes. Jokic down the floor. In the corner to Caldwell Pope, and another missed 3 for Denver. Miami with the ball with numbers. Lowry down the floor. 2, Hayden Highsmith for 2. 10-point game. 92-82. Denver could potentially be in a little bit of trouble. 4 to go. Can the Nuggets have one more little run to put Miami away, or will the Heat actually make a comeback and make it interesting? Jokic outside to Murray, back to Jokic down low, and Jokic with a 2. That's a good play. Nice little floater by Nikola Jokic. 94-82. 3:50 to go in the forecourt. That's a nice play. Jokic with 21 points, 9 boards, 13 assists. Gabe Vincent, he shoots a 3. He's off the mark. Miami's starting to run out of time again. They've had a couple of chances to get this close, but every time they do, Denver just finds a way to keep scoring just enough. Murray back to Jokic down low, and Jokic, when it counts the most, he scores again. 96-82. That's the big key about Nikola Jokic. He knows when to score. When his team's struggling a little bit, stop the facilitating, get the scoring going. And Jokic is up to 23 points. See, he always gets his points. 8 in this quarter. Gabe Vincent with the ball. To Bam down low to Hayden Hoffman. That's a good dunk right there. 96-84. 12-point lead for Denver. Again, the Nuggets are in a fairly comfortable position, but Miami's still not giving up. Hayden Hoffman, in 20 minutes, is 12 points. He's actually been really solid off the bench. That's why Eric Spoelstra has rewarded him with playing time. Jamal Murray for 3. He can't make the shot, and Porter Jr. can't get the offensive rebound. So Kyle Lowry with the ball going down the floor. Gets it to Jimmy Buckets, who has been quiet for a while. Down low, kicks to Hayden Hoffman in the corner, and Hayden Hoffman for 3. 96-87. It's a 9-point game. 2:30 to go in the fourth. No timeout by Michael Malone. Denver's 0 of 7 from 3 in this quarter. Miami's 4 of 10. He's letting them play. But again, Miami only down by 9. Hanging around a little bit. Jokic down low. Looked like he maybe could have walked, but he somehow didn't. Caldwell Pope gets the ball from Jokic, and Caldwell Pope delivers. Gets another assist for Jokic. 98-72. 2 to go in the fourth quarter. Caldwell Pope is not at his best game ever. He's only had 7 points and 3 rebounds, but still, Caldwell Pope contributing. Jokic down low to Gordon, and there's a foul on the Miami Heat on Hayden Hoffman. And that might be about it. You never want to say it's over until there's 0 seconds left. But the Heat, again, I've had several chances to potentially find a way to cut the lead down, get back in the game, but it does look like the Denver Nuggets are going to hold on. Gordon, a guy that does struggle a little bit at the line, but he is capable of knocking him down. His first free throw is up, and it's good. 99-87, 12-point lead for Denver, 1:52 to go in the fourth quarter. That was a fantastic shot by Jokic a couple plays ago. That was a great play. Go Tigers said the Nuggets offense looks awful when Joker's not on the court. For sure, they definitely do struggle a little bit. Denver is a much better team when he's on the floor because of his facilitating, getting other guys involved. The Ohio State says Heat may at least get some momentum for game 2. I agree with you, the Ohio State. I think even though they're probably not going to win this game, this fourth quarter definitely is, I think, positive momentum for Miami. At least they did not give up at all. Jokic draws a foul on Bam. I think that might be about it. 1:38 to go in the fourth. 187. The Nuggets lead by 13 points. And Jokic with 23 points, 10 boards, and 14 assists. What a performance by Nikola Jokic, a player a lot of people felt could have possibly won MVP for the 3rd year in a row. He's been that good. The Ohio State says, I saw your video on Zach Edey returning back to Purdue. Crazy he will be back. Has a college player ever won the National Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons? That's really interesting. I'm not 100% sure if there has been a player that has or not. Maybe Zach Edey will have a shot. I think it's tough to do it because it's tough to replicate your number from the previous year. And plus, when somebody has already seen what you've done, it's hard to really impress them again. But I think it's possible that he could. And Zach Edey returned to Purdue. Purdue had to have it. That was a big get for them because if without Zach Edey returning, who knows if Purdue would have even been a top 25 team or not. I think that is huge for them. Hayden Hoffman hits another 3 for the Heat after Jokic hits 2 free throws, 102-90. But I appreciate you for checking out my video via Ohio State. Definitely big news with Zach Edey returning. The Ohio State's another triple-double for Jokic. Yeah, he has been incredible. Hoffman does 18 points for Miami. Maybe that will give him some confidence as we go further along in this playoff series. But Denver, they've done enough to get the Game 1 win. Miami couldn't steal one on the road yet. They couldn't get Game 1 like they did in Boston. 104-90, under a minute to go. The Ohio State said, who would have ever thought Jokic would become this good when he was drafted? I don't think anybody really did. Jokic with 27 points, 10 boards, 14 assists. Miami hits another 3. But like you said, the Ohio State, I don't really think anybody really thought he was going to be that good either, but he's been great. Go Tigers said he returned because he's not an NBA player. He came in on defense when he is in the pick and roll. He's off in college. You're allowed to just stay in the paint the whole time. 100% go Tigers. I definitely think he's not really the type player that really fits the modern-day NBA, like you said, for sure. I don't think Oscar Tshiebwe does either. But he decided to stay in the draft. It's really interesting that he left and Edey came back. The Ohio State says, yep, Edey would have gotten drafted late second round or not at all, for sure. Definitely most players that are older just don't get, as many chances to get drafted like they used to because the NBA loves to take freshmen. these days. You look at players like Terrence Shannon, Zach Edey, Oscar Sheba. I mean, Baycott's returning to Carolina already. That he announced a long time ago. It's crazy for sure. Jack says, what a win for the Denver Nuggets. Big win for Denver. That will boost their confidence even further through the roof. They were able to get game one. I know a lot of people felt Miami had a shot. Maybe some rust for Denver, but the Nuggets struggled a bit in the fourth, but they were able to get it done. The Ohio State says Edey needs to continue to work on conditioning a lot to be NBA ready. He's going to have to get a little bit quicker, find a way to be able to guard a little bit more out of the rim just a bit. 25 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Looks like the game is about over, 104-93. Jackson's holy cow, only 2 free throw attempts for the Heat. Yeah, that's not going to be sustainable. If that continues for Miami, there's no way they're going to be able to win the series. They're going to have to get to the line more. Go Tigers to Edey. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Chinese Basketball League would make sense. I mean, he probably would do fantastic there, would have, great success. But in the NBA would be really tough for sure. The Ohio State's a hurt Nikola Joe for the Heat is yet to graduate high school. Hey, that's interesting. I mean, I have no idea on that. Do not have proof, but that's interesting. RC says Edey 110% of the right thing going back. Miami respectfully folded for game one. If you guys would like to talk about the game, I'm going to put the link in the chat real quick. Maybe talk for a few minutes after this game before we get off here. But what a win for the Denver Nuggets, 104-93, a huge win. Miami falls short. They are down 0-1 in the series. It is crazy. RC's the only toss, but I appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much for RC. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are the best, but thank you so much for that compliment, RC. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Go Tigers to graduate in the midpoint of the season, I believe. Crazy. For sure. Jackson says, go Tigers. At least there's no Fairleigh. Yeah, I mean, hey, Fairleigh Dickinson did the blueprint for how to beat Purdue. They were fantastic. They did a great job in that game. I think Zach Edey, he's a great player, but just don't know if he fits the NBA. You look at a player like Nikola Jokic. He's not even the fastest player in the world, but he could still initiate an offense, pass the ball. He's a guy that can rebound at a high level both ends of the floor. Edey can rebound, but he's a guy that's just really tough. To be able to get down the floor quick enough to defend. I just don't know if he can do it. It's going to be really interesting if he can. Be able to have a shot to play in the NBA. The Ohio State run an article saying he hasn't officially graduated high school yet. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy for sure. Definitely you learn something new every day. RC covers the WNBA and the NBA. Hey, Nikola Jokic meet Nikola Jokic. Yeah, that's crazy. Their names are literally the exact same except for one letter is different in the last name. But definitely interesting to see if the Heat Nikola Jokic actually starts to improve because Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets is elite. He is fantastic. We all know what he can do. Go Tigers, says Purdue for a reason. Yeah, laughing out loud. I mean, Purdue, their play style just doesn't work in the modern day NBA. They're going to have to find a way to be able to play the way that they do, but modernize the offense just a little bit to be able to help them have a chance to make it farther in the tournament because that's where they struggle. They can win in the Big Ten. They just cannot win in the tournament. I've got the StreamYard link up if you guys would like to join and talk for a few minutes about this game. I really do appreciate you guys for being here. Wait a few more minutes to see if you guys want to talk, but if not, I definitely do appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be signing off, but this was a big win for the Denver Nuggets. I feel like this will definitely boost their momentum, definitely help out their chances and their calls in this, playoff series, getting game one to get that game under their belt. Maybe there's some jitters. Maybe they're not used to being in this spotlight of it being a finals. Denver, they just took care of business. Denver definitely took care of business. They didn't play even really their best game. I mean, you look at the way they played against the Lakers. I don't even think this was Denver's best, but they went out there, played at a high level. So I think that overall, looking at Denver, I mean, they definitely played really solid. Hey, Jackson, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing pretty good. So a little Denver Nugget, low down, Denver Nugget, low down. What's up, man?
I don't know if you're muted right now, but nobody can hear you right now. I definitely can't. Let's see if I can find a way to get it where people can hear you. I definitely can't hear you right now. Unfortunately, you are muted, but still appreciate you for hopping on. Nana says it was a great game night. Denver was on the ball. Miami tried, but could not keep up with the Nuggets. With the Nuggets. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you, Nana. Really appreciate you stopping by. Means a lot, but definitely was a struggle for Miami. Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear you, Jackson. Just a little bit muted right now. I just can't hear you. The Ohio State, so we know for sure Nikola Jokic will win a title this season. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the Ohio State. I mean, I'm sure Jackson probably believes that Denver as well has a great shot to win the way that they are playing. RC says, I can hear him. Well, that's crazy. For whatever reason, I can't. I have no idea. That's interesting. Well, at least you guys can hear him. I don't understand why I can't, but I do. Appreciate it for being our RC. RC says, I predict the final score will be 108-103 Nuggets victory. Close enough. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
It definitely is pretty close. You look at the fact that, you know, it was 104-93, said 108-103. It's not that far off for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely still a great win for Denver. But I really appreciate you guys for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the stream out on social media. But thanks for being here, guys. Definitely will try to be back for game 2. RC said, well, now I can't. I heard him singing it first, laughing out loud. That's funny. But again, really appreciate you guys for being here. Try to be back for game 2. You guys are the best. What a win for Denver. Miami definitely really struggled to find a way. They had some moments to come back. They just couldn't get it done. But what a win for Denver. But really appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks all you guys for being here. What a win for Denver. We'll have to see if they can continue it and keep it up, keep the pace that they're going. What a win for Denver. But thanks